Hey, I got to give props to Letterman. I was just telling you guys off air. On Friday, he did something really cool that went kind of unnoticed unless you're watching Letterman. Like, I think the media should have picked up on it a little bit, or the comedy circles. But I'm a huge fan, still am, of Bill Hicks.
Yeah.
And Bill Hicks did Letterman's show many, many times. And back in 1993, I believe, he did a set for Letterman. And for some reason, Letterman said, nope, we're not airing that tonight.
Oh, he did do it on the show, and they didn't air it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And they shelved this Bill Hicks appearance for 16 years. 16 years. And the Bill Hicks people were trying to get this so they can maybe put it out on DVD for the fans and stuff, because it became this thing. And Letterman had Bill Hicks' mom on Friday, and they discussed this whole thing and how this set was never aired, blah, 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 and how did it make you feel. And Letterman had a real moment with Bill Hicks' mom. It was some really good TV. And to make a long story short, then...
They didn't air that.
Huh? Oh, they aired, yeah.
No,
do we have that?
They shelved his interview with the mother about shelving.
She was kind of boring, but you know, she's a mom, you know. And then they on Friday they aired this Bill Hicks appearance from 1993 that just sat on the shelf for 16 years. And Letterman even admitted on Friday he never saw the set since the day they decided not to air it.
Really?
It was a pretty good TV moment. And it turns out too, we learned after the fact that when Bill Hicks did this in 93, he was already sick with pancreatic cancer and on his way out. And you can kind of tell because he's a bit thinner and he doesn't look as healthy as he used to.
Why did Letterman decide it wasn't good enough after he had been on?
It wasn't about not good enough. It's something. It's something we fight all the time. Yeah, Jimmy, content. A little religious stuff in there, and I do believe some of the bits were a bit on the violent side, but hilarious. He takes some fine shots at Billy Ray Cyrus, who was popular at the time. Yeah. Now his daughter is, obviously.
Do we have any? I would love to hear Letterman talking to the mother at least. Do we have any of that at all?
Yeah, we could cut that up.
It's coming? Okay.
But it was a great moment. I DVR'd it and checked that out last night, man. So props to Letterman, and he apologized to his mom and says, I hope this helps you in some way, you know. And she admitted, yeah, that really hurt Bill and it hurt our family. It was a tough one for us to, deal with. And
wow,
yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Said something about Bill Hicks.
Oh yeah, I would love to hear.
Oh, you want to hear the Bill Hicks stuff?
Yes.
Oh, that would be nice.
Lead up, definitely.
Otto, you're a fan of Bill Hicks, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of your guys knows Bill Hicks.
Yeah.
A lot of people know Bill Hicks. I never got to see him live. He's one of my favorites of all time.
I got to meet him at
that's huge.
Governor's down in Levittown. Adam Ferraro was opening up for him.
Right.
And went back in the dressing room, and there was Adam and Bill Hicks.
That's cool.
Shook his hand. Felt privileged because I was a big fan at the time.
You were?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
More people are becoming fans after his death. And
Yeah.
it's so weird when you listen to his stuff. A lot of it can be said today. Kind of timeless. Some of the references are a little off, but besides that, the material's right there.
If you just put in different names of things, you could use the material.
Well, he
now.
beat the shit out of Bush, so,
Yeah.
You play that stuff, it sounds like he's talking about I was going to say the current president, the president that we just said goodbye to.
I'd love to have heard his take on our current president. I'm sure he would have liked him.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it would have been very funny.
You should go to you should go to YouTube. Letterman, I thought this would get a lot more attention than
What's
it did.
the YouTube?
The internet.
What is the YouTubes?
The YouTubes.
Because I hear a lot about it.
What happened was, on Friday, Letterman had Bill Hicks' mom on to discuss the banning of a set that Bill Hicks did back in 1993. Bill Hicks came out, did a killer set, but Letterman decided not to air it, and it became this thing for many, many years. And Letterman finally made good with Bill Hicks' mom, sat her down, they discussed the controversy and how it hurt Bill Hicks personally and hurt Bill Hicks' family, and they got into it. It was really good TV. And then David said, we're playing it today, unedited, and they played the set from 1993. This was on Friday. I thought it would get a little more attention than it did, but it kind of skated by a lot of people.
But Friday's a weird time to do it.
I know. He kind of buried it, but it's on YouTube if you want to check out the whole thing. And Letterman even admitted that he didn't see the set, since it was done back in '93. It just sat on the shelves. So I don't know why, out of nowhere he decided to come up, to do this.
That is odd.
I don't have the backstory on this,
Is it
but
the
he just.
anniversary of Hicks's death or his birthday or any
I
kind of
don't know.
special
Because that
day?
was the 12:30 show that he was cut from. Now it's
93,
11:30,
right? Yeah.
Right. So he's
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
it's even more stringent at
That
that
is
hour.
weird,
Yeah.
that he did this. Maybe he's, doing something where he's kind of getting a lot of things off his chest or something.
Yeah, who knows?
He was doing that whole apologize thing, and then...
Yeah, if someone has more info on that, maybe you could give the show a call. But I got actually something that adds to this. So Bill Hicks goes on Letterman 93, did Letterman at least a dozen times. I don't know how many times total. And this set was banned. And then Bill Hicks went back to Texas, Austin, and he talked about the whole banning of the Letterman thing on a public access show. And we got that audio today.
Public access?
And this is audio that Letterman obviously didn't play, so we're just adding to the whole.
Ooh, look at us.
The whole story thing. So I mean, the quality's shitty because it's public access, but I think we'll be all right with this. So Bill Hicks explains the appearance on the Letterman show and being censored after the taping.
Recently, on the David Letterman show on October 9th, that I did the show, taped the show at 5:30 in New York, and when at 7 p.m. was called by the producer and told that I would be excised completely from the show. I, of course, asked why. The material had been approved and reapproved by the producers. And they said that CBS had deemed the material, these are quotation marks, unsuitable for the viewing public and for the Letterman audience. And I made the point that when I'm not on the show, I'm a member of the Letterman audience, so ultimately what you're saying is my material is not suitable for me. What a predicament.
Smart ass.
He was great, though, man.
How come he's gone, but Swayze lives on? All right. Might have been a little rough. Oh, if I have to see one more commercial for the Beast, shut up, all right? It looks like shit.
The good ones die young.
Enough already.
Billy Joel said it perfectly.
Yeah,
It's always,
look how old he is.
Exactly. Then he hit a tree.
it's always the good ones that pass way too soon. Always.
Swayze's very intense.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you watch
Trying
the
to look all
Beast.
intense on that show.
I know. He looks now exactly like his brother, who used to look like retarded Patrick Swayze.
Now Patrick Swayze.
Now he looks like retarded Patrick Swayze.
That's it.
Like Patrick Swayze's brother would show up on like some fucking. He'd be playing an extra in a gang, and he'd be in the background. And you're like, is it fucking Patrick Swayze or something?
Yeah.
And then you get a look at him and go, "Whoa, that looks like a retarded Patrick Swayze." And then at the end, you'd see, Aaron Swayze or whatever the fuck his name is. I have no idea what his name is.
Tom Hanks
something Swayze.
Tom Hanks has a brother that's just been a zero.
Oh, really?
As Tom Hanks has been this huge Hollywood
Isn't it like his
star.
twin brother or something? I don't
They
know.
look
He looks
very similar. Find Tom Hanks' brother online.
I saw him on
It's creepy.
a soap opera once.
Yeah, and he tried to follow in his footsteps, and not even close.
Wow.
Not even close.
Probably easy to follow in the footsteps at the beginning when he's like on bosom buddies,
Yeah.
but then after you're winning Oscars and stuff.
Yeah.
eh,
He's a glorified extra. They give him a line or
What
two
about
just to make him
Eric
feel
Douglas?
better.
Remember that guy, Eric Douglas?
Oh,
I knew
yeah.
Eric, yeah.
Father's
Did you?
a gigantic movie icon, and his brother's a huge producer, and it's sad what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
All right, as we find Tom Hanks' brother's picture, here's Bill Hicks. This is what a lot of people have been asking today. He explains the actual joke that prompted the removal of his set, and then talks about the promo that aired on that night's Late Show.
What happened was I did some material about the pro-life people.
Oh, it was abortion.
That abortion issue, that'll get you.
Because there was some violence in his set. There was some other religious stuff, and then there was the abortion material.
And the joke I did was very simple. All I said was, if you're so pro-life, do me a favor, don't lock arms and block medical clinics. Lock arms and block cemeteries. Let's see how committed you are to this premise. It could even be construed as pro-life if you wanted to make that argument. Yeah. Anyway, they counted that as one of the quote-unquote hot points that I touched on. Here's the punchline. Monday night during the Letterman show, a commercial airs for pro-life. So see, we just had a misunderstanding. I thought I lived in the U.S. of A., United States of America. Right. And actually we live in the U.S. of A., United States of advertising. Freedom of expression is guaranteed if you've got the money. Okay.
Yeah.
Could be true today, man. Could be true today. Oof. Explains the Jesus joke that was also flagged as inappropriate.
And other hot points I hit on the set, which was, again, approved and reapproved by the Letterman segment producer.
Until, of course, it was time to do it.
Until after I did it.
Until after it was done.
And the other material I touched on was Jesus, which they don't want any discussion, which I find so funny. I mean, it doesn't matter what angle you take on it. The fact that a comedian's talking about Jesus, people might construe it as sacrilegious. And in fact, it wasn't what I said. All I said was a lot of Christians wear crosses around their necks. You think when Jesus comes back, he's going to want to see a cross. It's just an observation.
That's a great observation. Yeah. Why would you do that if you're hoping he comes back?
Yeah, hey, check this out, Jesus. Remember this?
Right.
I don't go for that type of humor.
No. You don't?
It's not necessary, no.
Why? Christian Jimmy. He's funny.
I just don't feel that that's not that fast with the music.
I love it. It's either too fast or too slow.
Christ. I didn't even think of Christian Jimmy. That's how tired I am.
Oh, really? I thought you were going to go into Christian Jimmy.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck it.
All right. Bill talks about freedom of expression, how the major media corporations want to keep the viewing public stupid.
The point I'm making is about the idea of freedom of expression, and I believe that there's this agenda in mainstream media, and I think it's fairly easy to back this up, to keep people stupid, docile, and apathetic, and therefore the elite who own these corporations and the families that own the corporations, even fewer people, their agenda is to keep us stupid and apathetic. That's why I love public access.
Wow, man, he was fighting the good fight back in '93. Why are we bothering? Because in 16 years, it's the same shit we're dealing with, or comedians in general are dealing with, and radio show hosts are dealing with. Dave likes him, but apparently had a rule about Jesus jokes.
Dave likes me, but what I found out subsequently to all this, and oh, by the way, I don't mean to keep pushing my own little horn here, but tooting my horn, but on this Monday, in the New Yorker magazine, there's a profile about me, including this story about Letterman. I found out that it's one of Dave's rules that he doesn't like comics to talk about Jesus on the show. Which I find really weird. I mean, they pretend to be this hip, late-night talk show, when in actuality they're as mainstream as anything. And, again, it doesn't matter what angle you take on the Jesus subject. That's what bugs me. Just because I'm a comic doesn't mean I'm treating it with disrespect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another brilliant point. Jesus. And then finally, the last clip of his interview with Public Access Channel.
See, what they do is they kowtow to a minority that's very vocal. Reasonable people don't write letters. Reasonable people have lives.
Yeah.
Reasonable people know it's just a joke. Reasonable people know it's just TV. They know they can change the channel or they'll wait and something else will come on. Sure. See, reasonable people don't get active. It's these minorities, these fundamentalists who are totally organized, and they are a minority, and who are the ones trying to set this agenda for America. And but come to find out, Dave, you know, I guess $14 million was his price. You know what I mean? Everyone has a price, they say.
Oh, man.
Luckily, I don't have any money, so it doesn't matter my price.
Well, I'm glad that problem got solved over the years, and we don't have to deal with any of that anymore. It's so funny to hear such an archaic way of dealing with things.
Amazing, right?
On that recording, and realize just a few short years later, we're so far away from that.
So good to know that the corporations told those people to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
So,
and they don't kowtow to these small groups of people, because normal working people that enjoy entertainment like that don't write letters.
Right.
But we finally found that out when...
we sure did, Anthony.
And that was just after the flying car came out.
Yeah.
Which was just a boon to mankind. Oh, we're still in this shit. We're still in it.
This is what, 16 years ago, and we're still fighting that horse shit. And you try to tell these corporate guys, why are you listening to
5 people with letterhead?
Why are you firing really good radio shows over a group of 10 people? that then try to get some of their other people to write letters that never even heard the broadcast.
They never heard the broadcast.
Why are you doing this?
Because they're cowards.
You're taking away programs that a lot of people enjoy. Way more people enjoy than hate.
They're cowards, that's why.
Because they don't fucking write. Because
But you would think in 16 years, the point is that they would try to move forward and understand what this is all about.
Realize that nothing is going to come of those people complaining if you just ignore them. Nothing will come of it.
Right.
Your business won't go down the shitter. You're not going to lose advertisers for any length of time or any. It's not going to make an impact on your company.
But we know the answer. It's because they're cowards. It's that simple. It's unfortunate that's the simple
16 years later, they continue to be cowards.
They'd rather do the phony apology, which they don't mean. You think of some corporate spokesman gives a flying fuck when they make those statements to these interest groups?
Oh.
Yes.
We sincerely apologize, and if anybody was offended, you think this guy is sitting there at home going, God, I'm so upset with what that show did. I'm going to write this apology letter. They don't care. It's just another fucking thing to put in the outbox.
I got a challenge.
Yes, challenge.
Give me the last apology that was sincere and real. Bill Clinton's apology was bullshit. All the apologies we've made over the years, bullshit.
Yeah. And we've said before, if we ever are heard apologizing or even sounding like we're apologizing, we don't mean it.
No. And the last
so we have to say that beforehand, because when we're doing it, we have to kind of sound like we mean it just to keep our jobs. But
you hear Anthony crumpling up the paper in disgust after the last apology.
But the apologies are never sincere.
Name one. What was the last apology?
John Candy and Uncle Buck.
Sorry. Just awkward in his own skin.
Sorry.
How great was John Candy?
Last apology that was sincere.
That's a good question. Like when Clinton went through that whole thing, please. He didn't mean any of that. Somebody will come up with one, maybe.
See.
No one in the audience has one. Hey, you want to hear Letterman now talking to Bill Hicks' mom?
Very much.
Karen Hill to Henry Hill after she pulled a gun on him. Kind of sincere.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was sincere. Of course, you're living in movie land again, Ant.
Yeah. And there's this one. This one is very sincere.
I'm sorry. I did so many bad things.
Keitel sounded very sorry. That fucking bad lieutenant's so good.
I tried to do the right thing, but I'm weak. I'm too fucking weak.
That's great.
Where are we with Bill Hicks' mom? Did we cut that up today? Because it's a long segment.
Yeah,
of his mom,
it really is.
And it goes on, and it's like kind of rough to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, from what I had heard, you had wanted the set, which I do have for you in tracks, but you said the mom stuff was kind of whatever, so I didn't go for it.
After we discussed it, I want to play some clips from Bill Hicks' mom, and then after that, you know what? I think the material should just sit there by itself without us commenting, so I want to just play the set. I think that's the way to do it today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's broken down in tracks, but I think in this case, let it roll. I think people will enjoy the set, absolutely. 16 years later.
Sincere apology. God damn it, this got me thinking. I can't think of one.
Imus's apology? Are you insane?
Stop it. Then he hires a Benetton ad to keep him on the air.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm sorry I did that. I'm trying to think now.
I'm embarrassed that I did that.
I'm embarrassed I did that.
You think that was sincere?
I'm sorry.
Let's think about this for a second. You think?
I think he was annoyed.
You think he was doing what he needed to do to try to save his job?
Yes,
because that's where all apologies come from.
Yes.
He might have felt slightly bad, like, maybe that was fucked up, but no, I don't believe that was.
They're self-serving apologies.
I agree.
You only do them to. You wouldn't give an apology out unless it was something in it for you.
Yes. We're stalling because we're trying to get Bill Hicks' mom's audio there. So let's go to
Al Roker's apology.
Calling my thrilling commentary stalling? Jesus.
Thank you, Kenny, for my treat.
You think I was babbling?
Rob in Tennessee. Rob.
Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Put my treat there!
Hey, buddy,
Now that's a treat.
Hey, Rob.
Thanks, Kenny.
What's
Hey,
up,
Rip.
man? I was just going to see what you guys thought about Dog the Bounty Hunter's apology there.
No.
It was really
either.
sincere.
Oh, my
Save
God.
your job
You know what?
apology.
Tim C. in Ohio might have he might have the only sincere apology that we all know.
Yeah?
Pick that up. I'm trying to think how I could tease this.
Let's see. Sincere apology.
You got to think way out of the box.
Someone's genuinely sorry about
That's the hint.
When the Germans apologized for World War II and what they did.
You got to think way out of the box.
John Lennon with the Jesus bit. Nah, he was fucking trying to sell records.
Stay in the country and sell records.
Jerry Lee Lewis apologized to Garanimals.
Anyone? Elliot Spitzer's apology? Stop.
No.
He was trying to save his job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another one that was trying to save his job. And that's key to my hint. This guy wasn't trying to save his job. Think way out of the box.
Out of the box?
Ralph crammed into Trixie?
That's true. He was apologized for fucking that black girl down the street. Outside the pool hall. He ate her ass in an alley. While Norton looked out for him. I do remember that one. And then Teddy Oberman came in and fingered Ed's ass for a little while crammed and ate the black chick's ass. It was awful.
It was so loud that Garrity was yelling from upstairs.
Yeah. Tell Teddy Oberman to quit smelling his fingers, Cramden.
Fucking Officer Grogan came over.
Let's go to Pat in Connecticut.
Mrs. Manicani fucked herself with a zucchini. While she watched.
Oh, Carlos was fucking all the girls around the apartment building.
It's true. Alice had unclipped dick cheese on her upper lip, and Ralph knew what she was doing.
It's not dick cheese, Ralph.
It's feta.
Feta.
Hey, Pat, go ahead.
Yeah, the last sincere story I heard was when Anthony said he was sorry he ever got married.
That's funny.
Wow. Yeah, that's a different type of apology. That's me apologizing to myself.
Yeah, Brian. Brian!
Hey there, Brian. You're on the air. You're on the air.
Good evening.
You finally go to the phone.
Going through puddles.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Yes, Brian.
Yes.
Hey, this is Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Really? We've just been saying, Brian, you're on the air for fucking like a minute.
Hi, Brian.
I'm on the road. I can't hear you. I was going to say, apologize.
Ah.
Thank God that got through. Thank God. We almost missed that humor.
Kyle in Alabama. I need a baby leg. What's up, Kyle?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, what about a few years ago, the Beastie Boys apologized for their lyrics, and no one was really pressuring them into it. They just sort of came out of nowhere and said it.
I don't have knowledge on that, my friend.
I know a sincere apology.
Yeah.
When Alex came downstairs.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, I'll accept your apology for fucking having the timing of diarrhea in the ninth inning.
Go ahead.
Fucking cunt-faced bag of vomit.
What are you trying to knock down up there?
The Grand Theft Auto 4 glove.
All right.
Don't mind
Let's
me.
go to John the Trucker. Here's the answer to the hint I gave that came from Tim. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, the sincere apology was Bud Dwyer's.
R. Bud Dwyer.
Wow. All right.
He wasn't playing.
You know something? He was genuinely sorry that he was such a douche.
And then he wasn't trying to get his job back now, was he?
No.
Yep. Eatabullet.com.
Eatabullet.com. Very good. So there you go. I think that could be the last sincere apology is R. Bud Dwyer.
Done by a madman.
My favorite comb over.
Yeah.
All right, they're still cutting up Hicks's mom's audio, so quick break. We come back, Letterman talking to Bill Hicks's mom from Friday's Letterman show, and then the Bill Hicks set that was banned for many, many years and was just in hiding and on a shelf getting dusty, and Letterman finally decided to play it on Friday. We're going to replay it here today on our show. So Letterman on Friday brought Bill Hicks's mom in. So this is part 2 of our little discussion, I guess. Here we go.
Thank you very much for being so gracious and so generous to come and visit with us here so we could take a look at Bill's shot on the program that never got on. And let me again, if I haven't previously, just apologize for
this
the
is
heartache
sincere.
and sadness that my decision caused you and your family. And, of course, made all the worse by the knowledge that at the time Bill was terribly, terribly sick. And then not many people knew that, did they?
Very few.
Very few, yeah.
And I appreciate you saying that.
Good call, Dave.
Yeah, way to go, Dave.
Jeez, he was sick, and you just fucking shunned him from the show, Dave.
You know what, though? The other side of it gave Mr. Hicks a lot of publicity.
Yeah, of course it did. Good job, Bill.
There was an upside to it. Here we go.
He always said when he was, up until the time he got interested in comedy, that he was going to Texas A&M to be a vet.
Liar, whore, you know it.
Hey, that wasn't part of.
You know, Dave should have lightened up on the old broad.
What the hell? I don't remember seeing it that way on Friday. What? Let me make sure everything's okay over here.
That was unnecessary of Mr. Letterman.
Yeah.
Texas A&M to be a vet.
Oh.
He loved animals, and that's what he wanted to do. And then he got interested in watching Johnny Carson, and he read books about Woody Allen. So he got interested in that. He said that he saw
Really
Johnny
see where he got
Carson
his comedy
on TV,
chops
and he
from.
thought, "Ooh, you mean you can make a living doing that?"
Jeez, Dave.
He's pumping it up a little bit.
Yeah. Fucking Vito Corleone in the fucking tomato patch again.
He's just doing a little punching up, that's all. He does that.
You're spelling it.
How did you feel about coming here tonight? Was this an easy decision for you to make? I mean, I was. I thought.
Were you surprised that I accepted?
I'm surprised when anybody comes here. No, wasn't surprised. But part of me thought, well, she has every reason not to come here.
That's right. I had a lot of reasons not to come.
Wow.
And I thought about it, and then I decided to come.
Good. I'm glad you're here.
Damn.
And again, I know I can't make up for the damage that was caused, but I hope symbolically this means something to you.
Well, it does. Right. And I will tell you that was a very hard time 15 years ago when that happened. And I just will have to tell you that it was.
Well, I'm well aware of that.
I know.
I don't know personally how difficult it was, but I can certainly, now that I have a son, I can certainly imagine what that.
You had to have a child to know.
That's right.
Okay, what else you want to know?
What'd she say? Huh?
What'd she say?
What else do you want to know?
Oh.
So.
Asshole!
There you go. There's some audio of Bill Hicks's mom. Want to play the Bill Hicks thing and end the show today?
Do the bit!
Let's do this. So this is the set that was banned for 16 years that Letterman finally played on his show on Friday. I think it's worth playing again today.
Yes, Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks from 1993. It was banned until this past Friday. Letterman finally did the right thing. Here it is. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you. Good evening. Very excited to be here tonight, and I got some great news today. I finally got my own TV show coming out as a replacement show this fall. Yeah. Thank you. It's not a talk show. Don't worry. It's a half-hour weekly show that I will host entitled Let's Hunt and Kill Billy Ray Cyrus. Thank you. It's fairly self-explanatory. Each week we let the hounds of hell loose. We chase that jarhead, no-talent, cracker idiot all over the globe. Till I finally catch that fruity little ponytail of his, pull him to his knees, put a shotgun in his mouth. Then we'll be back in 94 with Let's Hunt and Kill Michael Bolton. Also look out for our Vanilla Ice, MC Hammer, Marky Mark Christmas special. And I don't want to give away any surprises, but Marky Mark's the first one we catch and kill on that show because his pants kept falling around his ankles and he couldn't run away. I crossbow him right in the abs. Bring the whole kids, the family, and everything. It's a Christmas spectacular. I don't know what my deal is. I'm like a 31-year-old curmudgeon. That's the deal. You know, I went to a dance club the other day, you know, and dragged against my will, you know. And this girl asked me to dance, which I thought was hilarious, you know. Would you like to dance? You know, I'm like, yeah, you read my mind, you know. That's why I'm leaning in the darkest corner closest to the exit, you know. I'm about to boogie. I'm about to cut a rug. But it's weird. Women have this weird myth. You can tell the way a guy is in bed by how he is on a dance floor. I think that's ridiculous. What does it matter? You know what I mean? If a guy is on a dance floor really getting into it, enjoying himself, expressing himself, what does it matter how he is in bed? He's gay. Real men don't dance. They sit, sweat, and curse. Speaking of homosexuality, you know, I consider myself fairly open-minded, but something has come to my attention I find absolutely shocking. I don't know if you've heard about it. These new grade school books for children to teach them gay lifestyles. You know what I'm talking about? One of them is called Heather's Two Mommies. The other is called Daddy's New Roommate. I'm going to have to draw the line here, folks, and say this is absolutely disgusting, okay? It is grotesque and evil. I'm talking about Daddy's New Roommate. Heather's Two Mommies is pretty cool. I don't know if you really check that out. They're hugging on page 7. Oh, go, mommies, go, go. Anyway, it makes me miss my youth. People annoy me. You know what's really annoying me? These pro-life people. You ever look at their faces? I'm pro-life. Boy, don't they look it? They just exude joie de vivre, you know? You see them trying to go to an orphanage and adopt a kid. We're pro-life. We're here to adopt. Kids are just, oh, don't pick me. Oh, no. I'll eat gruel, 15 to a bed, no problem. Just keep Heather's Two Mommies coming and we're fine in here. I'm pro-life. You know, if you're really pro-life, do me a favor. Don't lock arms and block med clinics, okay? If you're so pro-life, do me a favor. Lock arms and block cemeteries, okay? Let's see how committed you are to this idea. She can't come in. She was 98. She was hit by a bus. There's options. Are we going to have her stuffed? What are we going to do with her? We're pro-life. That's the same look smokers give you, too. I'm a non-smoker. I'm a pro-life non-smoker. I'm getting that look a lot these days because I started smoking again, and I had 9 months without a cigarette, and I started again. And I'm getting that look. Are you applauding me starting or stopping? What are you? The smokers are, hey, you're back. Non-smokers, you're terrible. I can't believe he started again. Why? After 9 months. I have this belief. If that scenario is at all true when you die and you go to heaven and St. Peter meets you at the gate, I have this belief the first thing he's going to ask you is, you got a light? You mean y'all smoke here? Yeah, that's why it's heaven. These aren't clouds. This is cigarette smoke, pal. Hell is the non-smoking section. You want to look at them for a minute? Okay. I can't believe what they do to their bodies. It's so smelly. It smells like an ashtray. Why do they want me to smell that? God, that's hellish. Exactly. Light up and come on in. Hendrix is on harp tonight. So I've been traveling. I was in Australia. Over Easter, which was interesting to note. They celebrate Easter the same way we do, commemorating the death and resurrection of Jesus by telling our children a giant bunny rabbit left chocolate eggs in the night. I wonder why we're messed up as a race. Anybody got any clues? I've read the Bible. Can't find the word bunny or chocolate anywhere in the book. Why those two things? Why not, you know, goldfish left Lincoln logs in your sock drawer? You know, just making stuff up, go hog wild. But I think it's interesting to note how people act on religious beliefs. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Christians wear crosses around their necks. Nice sentiment. But do you think when Jesus comes back, he's really going to want to look at a cross? Ow. That may be why he hasn't shown up yet. Going, man, they're still wearing crosses, Dad. I'm not going. No. They totally missed the point. I'm not going. Forget it. I'll go back as a bunny. But,
Just great. He looks tremendous.
And I've not seen that videotape or any part of it since that night. And seeing it now, it raises the question, what was the matter with me? What was I thinking? That was just tremendous. He if anything... It says a great deal about me. It says more about me as a guy than it says about Bill, because there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. Just perfect. And the fact that, and I expected it to be somewhat dated, being that old. Man, it's not. It's just great. In fact, I guess this speaks to the suggestion that he was way ahead of his time.
I know DeRosa is a fan of Bill Hicks, right?
Yeah.
I kind of hear a little Bill Hicks in your act. I mean, you're an original. Don't get me wrong, but I see the influence when I see you, and I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah,
we should play the Bill Hicks bit where he talks about, donating your relatives to like action movies and stuff at the end of their lives. You ever hear that bit?
You know what? No, I haven't heard that one.
I don't know what the name of it is. I think it's off Relentless. I think. If we can find it really fast, it'd be a good way to go to break. Basically saying, look, instead of watching your relative like rot away, wouldn't it be cool to like have your grandma or something in some kind of action movie?
That's funny.
And they completely, take out grandma in that way.
That's
a cool way to go out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just paraphrasing the entire bit, but it's a nice little bit.
I like a lot of the Hicks stuff. A lot of it's really...
It still holds up. That's
really
what amazes me, man.
I have never listened to him.
Oh, you
should. But it's not to be a dick or to be different. I just don't want to be influenced by him, because by this point in my life, I haven't heard him. So I don't want... It's like, I don't want to.
All his stuff
I've heard
is
he's great.
Relentless is a great place to start with Bill Hicks.
And is it a shock, by the way, that our black friend is now 16 minutes late?
Keith Robinson will be joining the program.
No. Ah, shit, I had stupid traffic. God damn it.
Yeah. Do we have that bit? See, I need to see the guys in the booth.
Oh, Travis, he's got his middle finger up at it. It's like, dude, just look for the bit.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, you just said about Bill Hicks. He is a very infectious guy. You know what I mean? Like he was I first started listening when I first started doing comedy, and he was one of the first guys I heard, because I was such a Carlin fan. But Hicks did like the Carlin thing, but he did it in like the sort of alternative comedy approach to it, where it was very conversational and it wasn't monologue-ish. You know what I mean? It sounded very off the cuff, and that's what's so infectious about him. Because for me at least, I was like, wow, you can really go to these certain places and talk about like weightier shit, but also do it just very like, whatever, man. I'm just fucking talking about this shit, and it's not going to be that threatening. I'm just going to tell you what I think. And I'm going to put it out there. If you don't like it, fuck off or whatever, To
me, that's what great alternative comedy, by the way, should be. Is that what you just said? It's like not necessarily being monologue-ish or whatever, but it's just kind of whatever talking. To me, that's a good definition of alternative comedy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, once it starts getting into like the realm of like, pie charts and all that stuff,
or just phony detached irony.
I like the thought-provoking comedian at times, and Bill Hicks, and there's a few guys like this where you hear just dead silence in the room because everyone is listening, like they're really listening to what he has to say, and then the jokes still come. I love that.
Well, that's the best thing that I've found about a lot. I've been doing some more of those quote-unquote alt rooms in between the clubs, and the best thing I found about those crowds is they will stay with you. You could do a 5-minute bit that leads up to a funny closing, but in that 5-minute bit, there's periods that aren't supposed to be funny where you're just and they'll hang in there and they'll stay with it. A lot of club audiences, as you know, they're like, I've done those same bits in clubs where they're like, get to the point, bro, and you're like, dude, seriously, you can't just fucking listen to this and like go on the ride.
That's that ADD crap.
But is it now? And again, I've done some of the small rooms like that too, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
My problem with alternative rooms is they tend to be too politically hypersensitive. They tend to be very politically correct, which annoys me about them. But the club audience is saying get to it at times means they're impatient assholes. But is it a way of saying that the joke needs to be gotten to faster? Because and I'm not saying your bit was bad, but I look at a guy like Pryor. Pryor worked out in clubs. And Pryor always, you'd wait for Pryor sometimes because you'd always wait for him. But you knew he was getting to something really fucking funny. And he never made you wait that long. Like, he'd make a couple of points and he'd hit you with something really funny. And then he'd make his point. He had a great way of coming in and hitting you often enough that you didn't lose interest.
Right. Yeah, well, it's, it's certainly the balancing act of that. But I always liked and of course, I'm not Carlin, obviously, and I haven't had that career. But I mean, I always liked with Carlin.
I like how you had to explain that.
Yes.
Well, I'm just always so scared that I'm going to say something
that
and then,
people will misinterpret as you think. Yeah. I hear Joe on that. Yeah.
We know you're not Carlin, stupid.
Now, go ahead, George. What are you saying? Go ahead.
So,
go ahead, Lenny.
Yeah, I got to get this out before Keith gets in here because he's calling in and saying he's annoyed at what I'm saying right
is
now.
he?
Yeah.
Keith is annoyed at Jim and Joe. Well, fucking, where is he?
He's got it. We'll get to it.
Okay. All right, cool. We should go ahead, finish your thought because we do have to hit a break here.
I'm just going to say, I just love how on those specials he'll go 5 minutes and just be like, "This is what we're talking about here. It's a point that I'm making," and then he jumps back into
We're not going to get to break because Keith is
Just
marching
bring him
down
in,
the
bring him
hall,
in.
and he is like ready to roll. By the way, Bert and Philly, the premise on the Bill Hicks bit used terminally ill as stunt people. Yes.
Okay.
That's that. Hey, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Hey,
Are you just annoyed? Are you annoyed already?
Making me sick.
Go ahead, Keith. Keith Robinson, everyone.
Yeah, well,
by the
the
way,
fact-
the first time on
Give
our
me
show
this.
in 4 years.
The fact that you're talking to Joe about great comics makes me want to throw up. Ask Joe about how it is driving Bill Burr around. That's what you need to know. Oh, well, Carlin, you see, you make me. That is the worst conversation I've ever seen.
You're getting annoyed by it?
Oh, it was infuriating. I was punching the air. I was so angry. And Joe, and how you let him skip over Richard Pryor, because Joe does not like Richard Pryor.
No, that's not true. You've been hanging
Shut
that
up
over
with
my
your
head for 5
high-pitched
years.
voice.
You've been hanging that over my head for 5 years. I like Pryor just fine.
Name one of his bits, stupid. One of them.
Mudbone.
Oh,
You know what? That's the one.
I'm
everyone
a windmill kick him right out the chair.
Right.
But
All right, go with 2.
My father died in your pussy. I know that fucking bit. I'd be in that long, motherfucker, Jack. I know all the fucking Pryor bits, dude. I have. Was it something I said? I have that.
He's shaking.
It's crazy.
You can say it.
I have Live on the Sunset Strip. I have Here and Now. I have Live and Smoking. I have all
well,
this
either
shit.
way, we want you to stop. You want to talk? Let's talk great comedy.
And I want you
but
to
not
stop
with
wearing
you,
those
stupid.
sweatshirts.
Not with Joe DeRosa.
Why
Jesus
y'all out of
Christ.
breath? Calm
He has the
down.
body of a Somalian pirate. He stinks.
He's out of breath because he was running down that really long hall to give you a beating.
Oh, it just infuriated me. Listen to Jim sitting back like Bill Moyer going on.
I was trying to discuss it like a gentleman.
Yeah,
I was trying to be a true gentleman.
Well, Joe, I see that you in alternative rooms and Bill Hicks.
But in alternative, the thing is, the point is, in alternative room, at times they'll give you a little bit more time. Like sometimes, a club audience can be fucking like you are trying to get to something, or you're doing something that's like a little bit paced, and they get impatient.
Alternative comics stink.
A lot of them do.
No, not a lot of them. All of them. They stink.
But
anybody that puts themselves on an alternative has to stink.
But it depends on what you call alternative. Like a guy like Hicks. No, but Hicks was to be.
Was Hicks an alternative?
He wasn't no damn alternative comic.
But compared to what that was at the
he
time,
wasn't. How?
He might be
He didn't
considered
call
that.
himself an alternative comic. He was out there doing what he was doing.
He was just
that
a
was
comic.
It was a comic.
That was when no one labeled their comedy.
Yeah.
They just went up and did their thing.
Well,
right?
I still don't think they should label it, but I
Stop
understand what Joe
labeling
is saying.
You know
though.
why they label it? Because they stink. You have to have an excuse for not being funny, and that's what it is.
But that's not true. A lot of those guys are really funny.
Who?
Oh, for Christ. Really? We got to get into this
Well,
game
then,
now?
if you're not going to get into it, shut up.
Patton Oswalt's a great example. He's hilarious.
Oh, shut up.
And he's
Jesus
one of those
Christ.
guys.
Patton Oswalt stopped being funny in '88.
Oh.
I know everybody's quiet, but I said it.
Shut up, Keith.
Well, 'cause I walked in. I'm sorry. I walked in and Keith and Joe were going at it.
Yeah.
That's why I said to Joe, "Why don't you go look at the Bishop?"
Why were they going at it?
I don't know. The
It's
Archbishop.
this alternative comedy.
Oh,
is
you're still on that?
Well, it heats me up a little bit. You
All
know,
right.
it's just because it's never happened. In school, you didn't have alternative funny guys.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't look over to a room of silence and see a bunch of guys being quiet. Now, they're just alternative.
Right.
But
The
They were
funny
just funny.
guys were the funny guys.
Funny's
But
funny,
the
right?
argument...
Back of the bus guys.
Be fair, Keith. Nobody argued that point. You got all hot when I said that doing those rooms in addition to the clubs has made me a better comic, and you said that was bullshit.
One would debate that.
You said that was bullshit. That's fair. I mean, that's a ridiculous thing to combat. I'm
listen
saying
what
playing
I'm
different
saying to you.
rooms, and it's helping.
But you're saying alternative comedy rooms just doing different rooms made you funnier, stupid. Not the room itself, not the alternative comedy room, different rooms.
Fine. The rooms where that type of show is happening, help me out. I mean, you
Joe,
know,
I've been funny all my life. You think I'm going to allow you to come here with your awful body and tell me about funny?
Why are you getting so mad?
Because, Joe, I've been a thug nigga since I was a rug nigga. Back of the bus nigga, hand on the trigger. But I didn't shoot from the hips. I threw from the shoulder until I got older.
See, you know.
You feel that right? Oh, that was beautiful.
I was angry, but I like the way you danced around with that. It put a cute smile on my face.
Although I gotta say, in Keith's defense, that it's not even. It's like back of the back of the bus guys is a great description. Not in a tough guy way, but just in the fucking guys that were just kind of being assholes, sitting in the back, fucking teasing everybody else. Those are typically, and the guys that run comedy or in the decision making are the guys
front
that,
of the bus guys.
the nerds that kind of sat in the front.
Nerds.
But Jim, in all fairness, and I know you're a fan of the man, Woody Allen is certainly not a back of the bus personality, and he's hilarious.
But Woody Allen's thing is. Woody Allen is just nothing but fucking and he's one of the greatest joke writers ever. He
funny.
is joke after joke after joke. Woody, to me, is like what an alternative comic is. Like, because he was so alternative to what everybody was back then. It was like, take my wife, please. Look at that, the kitchen. And then Woody came up and I'm Jewish and he was nebbishy and no one was doing it.
That was an alternative comedy.
Yeah, he didn't label it.
Stop putting, I don't put Woody Allen in the category of alternative comedy.
This is where you're wrong, though. This is where you're wrong. I have a book because I have a book called Seriously Funny: The Rebel Comedians of the 50s and 60s, and they talk specifically in that book about how Woody Allen, Mort Saul, Don Rickles, Phyllis Diller, and fucking so on were the alternative comics of the era because they started to play the rooms instead of the Catskills because they thought the Catskills stunk.
They never called themselves alternative comics.
Well, just because they didn't use the word.
Well, why you use a word then?
Because that's what it's called now. Who gives a shit?
Well, see, all right.
What's changed is this.
I give a shit because I'm a comic.
Well, it's morphed into where a lot of people. But it's like you're getting caught up in the term alternative. It's morphed into where a lot of unfunny people hide under the moniker of I'm an alternative comic, whereas a guy like Woody was brilliantly funny, and he was just alternative to the style that was happening. Back then, to me, alternative was more of a style thing, and it wasn't where certain people who aren't funny made their excuse for not being funny by saying I'm alternative. Woody was funny. You know what I mean? It's like
I'm with Keith. Just don't label this. Just don't label it. Just go up there.
You go up there and
be a comic.
Be funny.
Right.
Yeah, just go do what you do.
I'm not a fan of labeling all that crap. And I'm not a fan of the theme comedy show either, by the way.
No, it's terrible.
Where you get three Italian comics together and they have a cute name for it.
Joe was on the Egyptian tour, I believe.
Did he do some of those?
I do Arab American shows sometimes, yeah.
And it's a theme show?
Well, they'll have Arab American comedy shows where it's,
I'm sorry.
You know, it's all.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Okay, it's okay. I'm sorry too that I sink that low to make a buck.
New Bill Hicks. All right, we're into Bill. This might be interesting. Let's go to Adam in Connecticut. Adam, hi, sir.
I just want to talk about. I just saw it opened up in UK. It's a new Bill Hicks documentary, and it looks really fucking awesome.
Yeah. What are they covering that we don't know already about the wonderful and talented and dead Bill Hicks?
Well, the one thing that I find interesting is that America will shit all over Bill Hicks and know dick about him. But in fucking Europe, he's huge. That's actually the first time I ever heard about Bill Hicks is when I lived in England.
Is anyone shitting on Bill Hicks here?
No, I don't think people shit on Bill Hicks here, sir. I think he's very respected.
Yeah, he's looked at very fondly.
By comedians. He's not respected by people who... that like comedy a little bit. You know what I mean? If you're into comedy, yeah, you know who Bill Hicks is and you love him. But, if you're not, if you're just once in a while you go to a comedy club or blah, 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 you don't know who Bill Hicks is.
I think comedy connoisseurs, people that know comedy, even if you're not in comedy, I think they can appreciate Bill Hicks. But you know something? This guy might have a point.
He's not as mainstream famous here. He's not just known by people who casually watch comedy. One of the reasons, I'm going to guess, is because Bill Hicks was a very socially conscientious and poignant guy.
Yeah.
But here, there are a lot of those. Pryor, George Carlin, and they're all guys that did it better. And it's not to knock Hicks at all. He was a great comic from what I didn't study Hicks, so I'm going on reputation purely. But here you had Pryor. Here you had, guys that really, really made a living being very, very socially relevant. And what I've seen of most British comics, they're more silly, and I haven't seen that many that do that.
Well, I think one thing with Hicks, though, is that I think he touched on a lot of different things that people don't want to think about.
Yeah.
I think like Pryor and them, they talked about things that there was Pryor talked about the black and white issues and going back to Africa, saying the N-word, but Hicks talked about things that a lot of people. Yeah, if you're a political person, you're like, oh yeah, haha, that's funny and stuff. But a lot of people don't want to hear the stuff that he was talking about. Like Bruce, Lenny. He was kind of considered like a Lenny Bruce type thing.
True.
Socially conscious stuff, but nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody
The fact that I'm sorry, sir. The fact that you just said that. You're kind of saying that Pryor talked about stuff that people were comfortable hearing about.
Yeah, not quite.
The most racially poignant comic ever. And he talked about it belligerently in a way, but not in a way to make you feel guilty to white audiences as well as black audiences. You're nuts.
I think Bill Hicks might have dropped dead a little too early to get that status of legend and people really knowing who he is. Just because, I don't think we got enough material out of him. To tell you the truth, because you listen to all of his stuff, you can listen to his entire collection, and it doesn't span that many years or subjects. I would have loved to have heard Bill Hicks talk about radical Islam, 9/11, things like that would have been, fantastic for him as far as subject matter goes. But he just wasn't around long enough.
And Carlin, to think that Carlin only addresses things people are comfortable with.
Oh my
Carlin
God,
has been more brutal than Hicks and Pryor combined.
Yes.
Especially
if I
later.
Could say one thing about Carlin though is that Carlin was so, and not to say it's not taking anything away from Carlin. Carlin was amazing. Carlin was a professional. Carlin wrote down everything he ever did. Carlin was scripted. But one thing that I like about Hicks. What? Am I wrong, Anthony?
No, I just said, say Carlin again.
Yeah, that was his style of performing, yes.
Yeah, and one thing with Hicks I like is that sometimes he would just go off the cuff on something. He would, something would rattle his cage, and then he would go off on it. Fuck with everything he wrote,
Sir, I know what you're saying, but as a guy who performs stand-up, it doesn't make one more of a comic. Don't forget, by that point, Carlin had burned 10 separate hours on HBO or 8 separate hours. It's a little harder when you've done every subject to just go up there and riff without repeating yourself. So what you do is you create a new hour and you know what you want to talk about and you go up and do that. And by the way, Carlin knew he was like on a 2-year schedule to get it onto to national television. He knew he was working towards getting this hour on HBO. And then it would be dead.
Yep.
So every one was a timed out. It's like doing books.
That's amazing. Yeah. It's like writing a book and doing it on stage.
Yeah.
And then throwing it away.
But the way he would attack abortion, come on, Carlin was brutal.
Yeah,
man.
children.
Yeah.
It wasn't very cushy.
No.
And cozy. Official trailer? What's the movie called?
American, the Bill Hicks Story.
American, the Bill Hicks Story. Official trailer. See what this is all about. Let's crank up a little volume as we listen in. In a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act.
Plenty
George
of people
Orwell.
say he is the best American comedian the country has ever produced. His influence lives on.
I'm going to share with you a vision that I have because I love you.
Get out! Get out! Take her out!
Hey, buddy, we're Christians. We don't like what you said. I said, then forgive me.
Please welcome Bill Hicks.
He was just completely unique, like he was from somewhere else.
Bill was just like a new breed of person. He was going to be the comic that shook people up.
We had this Iraq war thing happen. First of all, this needs to be said. There never was a war. How can you say that, Bill? Well, a war is when two armies are fighting.
Bill is searching for something to take his comedy to other levels.
How about a positive LSD story? Wouldn't that be newsworthy? Today, a young man on acid realized that all matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration, that we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There's no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we're the imagination of ourselves. Here's Tom with the weather.
My voice was not heard. The questions were not asked that I wanted to see asked.
Bill had this desperate desire to get mainstream America to see his point of view.
And what you find out is they don't want you to talk about ideas on TV.
It's not enough just to make jokes about it. You have to kick over some tables.
That's what being a patriot means, is that you question the powers.
You're right. You're right. Not those fuckers who want to tell you how to think. You're fucking right.
I think it's a powerful idea when you see somebody that believes so much in that kind of freedom.
As a fan
By the
of...
way, if anyone
Shut
here
up,
is in
Bill.
advertising or marketing, kill yourself. Thank you.
As a fan of Bill Hicks, I mean, there's no new material. That's just it. It's like, all right, it's gonna be kind of cool. I'll see it when it's on cable. But like, I've heard everything. I think I've heard everything.
I don't know why I never watched him. It wasn't to avoid him, or it wasn't to be different. Once I started doing comedy, I didn't want to watch the other guys.
Yeah. A lot of comics, it seems, they don't want to watch comics.
Yeah.
Kind of, what does it, taint you?
Yeah, you just don't want to. I don't want to know. I know Hicks on reputation only.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people that knew him, and it's funny when you see comics trying to be him. You see guys, because Hicks had a reputation of a guy. He was an original guy, and you see guys trying. Plus, the fact that he died young was absolutely But he was. I mean, he was very well respected before he died. That wasn't like that was it. I mean,
But that was a good career move.
that it does actually add to the legend.
Yeah.
But comedians, a lot of guys try to be him. They want to clear the room. They're not really trying to say something. They're saying something that they think is so outrageous that they want to clear the room. They're not saying things that they think they really want people to think about and laugh at.
And yeah.
Because they think they'll be legends if they clear the room. Sometimes you clear the room just because you're being an obnoxious cunt.
You're not being good.
Most opinions these days that aren't about race or Islamic terrorism, if you're just attacking middle-class white society, Midwest, you're not going to clear the room.
You're not really being that outrageous. No. You're not going to be shaking anybody up. Yeah. Go after Islam. Get in a room and go after Islam. Have you seen comics do that?
Sure. I've seen Nick DiPaolo.
What kind of reaction from the crowd? Are they uncomfortable?
Depends on how you paint it. It's a really weird thing.
With thermite paint. How about you paint it with that?
If they think you have to let them off the hook in a way, meaning you tell them in a way where they can feel comfortable laughing at it because they're always going to look around. Mm-hmm. If you're a white guy attacking white people, they're much more comfortable. They don't have to look around.
Yeah.
But if you're attacking, whether it's a certain bullshit in black culture or bullshit in Islamic culture, that's not them. It's a lot safer for white people to laugh at the Midwest and middle class white people because they're white people.
Yeah.
So you don't have to look around and see who's. But if it's anybody different, it's harder to make fun of a different culture, not just in some stereotypical way, but to really.
Oh, my head spins like Linda Blair's in a room.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this one. Let me tell you this opinion.
It all depends on how you do it, because sometimes if you're logical about it, I always try to do it to set it up in a way where, look, if you're offended by humor, you're an idiot. It's almost like you bring them into this place. And then by the time you're saying things that would offend them, they feel stupid being offended because they've already signed on to the fact that being offended is for faggots,
That's a talent. That's like, the way you describe it is, because I know you're big into chess. You're big into chess, Jimmy. And it's almost like you're setting up the audience before you hit them with certain things so that they react in a predictable way, in a way that you want them to act.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is a lot of times their reactions with any comic are not based always on is it funny or not.
Mm-hmm.
There's the asterisk is the social implication. Do I agree? Do I not agree?
Yeah. You could present the same opinion, and that goes for stand-up comedy or just having a debate or a conversation with somebody. Yeah. It's sometimes the way you set it up. It has a huge bearing on how the person reacts to what you're saying. And you could say the same thing. You could have an opinion about, a certain race or whatever. And the way you set it up before you actually hit them over the head with your real opinion will dictate how they react to it.
Yeah. But the guy to call up and think that because Hicks riffed, or to think that Carlin was not quite or not up to because he was scripted is mind-boggling. Carlin, come on.
Yeah, Carlin was, especially later in his career.
Oh.
I mean, early on, he was definitely out there and giving his opinions, but later in life, he just didn't give a fuck.
He was doing live HBO
thought.
specials. He was going out live.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard that is to go out live from the Paramount and close your set with "There is no God," but not in a corny way,
Right,
but to
yeah.
really break down religion to the people basically who are religious. And he broke it down so fucking logically, and it was so funny. It's one of the best bits ever.
I got a little sour on Carlin a few years before he died. Because I was kind of like, oh, he's just doing this angry guy thing where he just gets up and fuck everything, fuck everyone. Then I realized he was being sincere.
Yes, he was.
and there's a big difference in somebody just getting up there, doing the angry guy thing, getting off stage and you know, being a different person. He was genuinely angry.
Me and Colin talked about Carlin, and he said he wished Carlin had addressed race more towards the end, which is true. But to me, it's not phony because George was not afraid to talk about anything. I mean, the way you can't think Carlin was afraid to be socially impolite when he went on at Comic Relief. Rich cunts don't want to eat. Fuck them. Guys that were doing that kind of material in front of those audiences.
Yeah.
You know, he was basically attacking the ideology of the people in the room.
The people that were right there in front of him, yeah.
And for whatever reason, he was, you know, a 70-year-old guy. Black race was not something that he got angry at from the point of view we do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because he wasn't as affected by political correctness, I think, because he was so far above it and so beyond reproach with that stuff.
I think in his younger days, too, you know, because in the 60s and stuff, he probably had a lot of experiences that might have, I don't know, made it so he wasn't not comfortable talking about race, but just it wasn't as relevant as a lot of the other stuff that he wanted to talk about.
Because the people who were to committing the crimes that he saw were the church and white structure.
Right,
I think his attacks were very sincere. And I don't think when growing up, he was a beatnik from like fucking from the 60s. He saw blacks being fire hose. That wasn't his experience.
Yeah. So
or
he wasn't going to jump on that whole thing.
Phones are lit, but I guess a lot of Hicks fans.
Yeah. One guy wants to talk about Quincy. Another guy doing amateur comedy.
Quincy. What's it to talk about with Quincy? I think they're all Hicks fans.
Let's see. Scott from Rockland County wants to talk about something about comedians. What, Scott? Hi, Scott.
Good morning, boys. How you doing?
Hey. Good. How are you?
Fine. What I wanted to say was, what makes comedians, what I think, great, Carlin, Pryor, Hicks, Jimmy, even you.
Not in that level, but thanks.
Well, I think so, but, you know, we'll see what happens down the road. But what makes them great is that they take things that people see every day on the news, people see in their world every day, and they have a certain opinion about it. Great comedians take those things and just completely turn them on their ear and look at them from even a slightly skewed perspective that's not only humorous, but it kind of makes you think about it. Like, even after you hear it, after the show, like, you know, if more people thought of that particular subject that way, it might make the world even a better place. Like it might make people less uncomfortable to talk about things like that.
A world a better place.
I agree with you. I know what you're saying. You're saying that great comics make you think of things after you leave the show from just the point they were making. The audiences have gotten shitty, though, because they're not used to socially aggressive or relevant stuff on TV anymore. In the era where Carlin was coming up, and even right before Hicks was All in the Family, and it was MASH, and it was things, whether you agreed or not, that did address real social issues.
Yeah, they put it in your face, yeah.
And there was edgier material. Now, comedy on TV is such fucking garbage, and this dumb country, we only accept real biting commentary comedically through cartoons. Because we really are a country of dumb motherfuckers.
Why the fuck is that?
Because we're dummies, and we don't have to look around the room because we're not cartoons. It's really weird. People need... Go ahead.
Your show.
Sorry, you bring up cartoons. I think that's why I enjoy Family Guy so much, is that it it really takes shots at subjects and places that just no other TV show, nobody does it anymore.
But shouldn't real live human
Yes.
beings be able to get on television and do the same topics and material that is done on Family Guy and South Park and a few other shows that are addressing radical Islam, addressing pedophilia in the church, all kinds of issues like this? Why can't real live people get on a television show and do that, and even in a comedic way, and be accepted and laughed at and be praised as a great show, instead of having a group protest and have the show thrown off the air? A show, by the way, that would never get on the air in the first place. Wouldn't get past
Anthony, a child may be watching, at 10:30 at night, so we can't have that.
Well, have it at 10:30 at night. Who cares if if the show's good, people are going to watch it. But they won't allow real people to talk about that. You'd have, if they took a black stereotype and pounded that on a show, you'd have Reverend Al getting on there. If it was an Asian stereotype and you did something on that, you'd have Asian groups after you.
Right, but and if it comes down to interest groups, it comes down to that. God forbid somebody threaten a boycott and an advertiser getting mad. Unfortunately, that's the times we live in, which, again, it's completely confusing why Family Guy can tackle those subjects, but another sitcom can't.
It's not confusing, though.
You can't have it all in the family today.
No.
Well, it's not confusing. I mean, I know what it is. People are fucking cowards. Yes, that would be a really bad All in the Family with
All in the Family. Just Carol O'Connor sitting in his chair rotting away.
Yeah, and big fat Rob Reiner and fat Sally Struthers talking to the kid who's 41.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott.
All right.
Yeah, that whole thing with the cartoons. I mean, believe me, I think they're funny.
They're hilarious.
I saw South Park the other day with Cartman and the Kentucky Fried Chicken, where we went to get the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they were totally doing Scarface. Yeah, they fucking threw the guy out of the helicopter and hung him. Awesome. That's fucking great. But you just can't do that. You can't have a cutting-edge sitcom that addresses that shit without it being just this fluff crap. You turn on the black shows, all the black shows, and it's just this fluff black show garbage. You turn on the white shows and it's just fluff white guy crap, and they don't want to really rattle people. Make it so you're sitting there watching, and like when you're watching South Park or Family Guy, there are moments where you go, holy fuck, did they just do that? I want to see a show where you say that, where there's real people on there. You'll never do that.
South Park and Family Guy, and even The Simpsons to some degree, get the reaction that stand-ups should be getting on TV and sitcoms should be getting on TV. And it's not a knock on South Park. It's a brilliant show. It's a knock on the cowards that run the industry.
Yeah.
They're so afraid of the letters, and they never defend the talent. It's really bizarre, man. What a just a country of fucking... Kevin Brennan described it as gotcha. Like, we like to get each other. Like this Hooker Lopez story.
Yeah,
this is what we
gotcha.
are. Like, look what he did. Look what he did. We're just fucking disgustingly phony.
But there's such a want from the public for shit like that, and I'm guilty of it too. Look, I read it and be like, oh, George Lopez, hey, he's a dirty, dirty boy. Look at what he's doing. Hooker.
Yeah, but you know what you'll do? You'll talk about how you stuck your dick in somebody different. You're not a hypocrite because you're not pretending to be better than George Lopez. I'll never be self-righteous and judge him. He's terrible. He was dumb, but he's a fucking nice guy. And look, hey, I've done that.
He's Mexican.
What? Oh. Is he Mexican?
I don't know what he is.
But why is it? That's the problem I have is people, if you're not talking about yourself as well, if you're not going to be self-revealing and yet you're going to shit on other people, you're a cunt.
Yeah. Then you're an asshole.
That you're a cunt.
If you're fucking demanding that your face be pixelated while you're ratting somebody out.
They're probably her hooker ads.
You think?
Yeah, that's probably why her face is pixelated. The ads probably have that.
Come on. They fucking got the stories from. They could have taken some pictures.
I agree.
And pictures of their faces. I'm sure they didn't want to be seen. What's the matter? Don't want daddy seeing what the fuck line of work you went into?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, Hewer? What a Hewer.
We were also talking about Hicks, because there's like a Hicks documentary coming out. You knew Hicks, right? Were you a Hicks fan? I literally have never seen his act.
Yeah, I knew him, of course. It was good. It was. I would be. It's more interesting for me because I mean that was so long ago. But it's more interesting. Like I really would love to have seen him in the past 10 years. You know.
Yeah, I was just saying that. Like, yeah,
you can't really tell where. I mean, he was at the top. If you look at it now, you're like, oh, he was politically correct and all that stuff. Because at that time, you know what I mean. It wasn't. You know what I mean. But it'd be interesting because I remember seeing him the last few times he was going on, and I could tell he was turning a little because he'd be like. Yeah, man, he was in New York, which can make anybody turn anything. He's like, yeah, I saw this bum came up to me. Not a homeless guy. This guy was a bum.
Oh, okay.
Not a homeless guy. A bum. And he was like getting into little shit like that. So, you know, he had kind of a temper in that way. So I got a feeling he would have been, it wouldn't have been what you guys were probably saying. I could just picture the two of you saying, well, he was politically correct.
No, he didn't say that.
I got the whole conversation right down in my head.
I didn't say he was politically correct.
You guys are completely wrong. Jim's completely wrong with you.
He's already got it.
But I didn't say that.
Well, you were out of line, and you're wrong.
Hicks didn't strike me as a politically correct guy, not the reputation he has. What I said is too many guys try to be him because they think that clearing the room... Like, one thing, again, and I'm going on reputation, but when he cleared the room and people left, he really was doing material, and he was doing material that meant something to him and that he thought was funny. People will try to be purposefully shocking just to clear the room because they think it makes them legends or interesting.
Right, I agree 100%. And it all goes back to people try to be like Lenny Bruce. When they do like when Lenny Bruce... You know, went after the Catholic Church in 1960.
Yeah.
That was dangerous.
Very.
In 1960.
Yeah.
That's fucking dangerous.
Now, not
There's
so
no
much.
blowback today.
Yeah.
And people will sit there and they'll say Catholic jokes, and the whole audience is in on it, too. They were really going to get it together, too, but, you know what I mean? Because they'll be, like, laughing. And then somebody brings up Islam, people are like, whoa, somebody meaning me. And they're like, whoa.
Somebody meaning me.
And the crowd gets a little... Like, last time, talking about the immigration issues, and I could just feel it getting so tense. And I'm like, hey, you don't know how to... Like, people don't know how to react because they just... You know, barrage with this shit all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you bring up the immigration thing and
they get tense immediately unless you're immediately going, hey, Arizona's racist. You know what I mean?
yeah, unless you take that politically correct thing with, hey, fuck Arizona.
Exactly.
And everyone will go, yeah. Shut up.
They're afraid of any type of... My theory was that it's like white people are very comfortable just laughing at white people. Like, when you think of the church, you think of mostly white people. You think of the Midwest. They don't have to look around the room because they're white, so it's an acceptable target.
Right.
But they don't want anything that they have to look around the room for, which would be Islam or any type of race.
Yeah.
Someone with a bomb strapped to him.
Yeah, somebody exactly with a ticking shirt.
Fucking
No, so it is true.
Savages.
If you really want to talk about it, every TV show, every popular like comedy makes fun of like white culture. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not whether they're funny or not, but that's the acceptable target. You know, just mocking this kind of white. You know, every business. It's just that white culture. That's all they can make fun of.
Yeah, it really is corny and safe. And look, it's up for... They can trash the church all they want. I don't care. But don't think you're dangerous doing it, and don't think you're being really edgy doing it.
Yeah, take somebody in a sitcom and have them meet up with some obviously Islamic gentleman and make a really funny terrorist-related joke.
Yeah.
You would never see that on a sitcom. Never.
And that's why I feel, getting back to the beginning, that Jim is wrong about Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks would talk about that kind of stuff, Anthony. And I just think Jim is out of line saying what he's saying about Bill.
Jim is out of line. Consistently out of line, yes.
Well, the two of you can put your little heads together and come up with any scenarios fucking you that you may want. But I certainly did not say. I don't think Hicks would have been PC.
No.
At all.
I would have liked to have seen his take on this radical Islam and 9/11 and things like that, though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think he would have had mixed feelings, because let's face it, he was a lefty commie in many ways. Well, on the other hand, he was a Texas guy, which is where the entire army is from, Texas.
Yeah.
Anthony, you should move to Texas and do the show there.
Oh,
I
that'd be
think-
great.
You know why you won't, though? No, it wouldn't be great for you. Because you want to be the only gun owner of that many guns. In Texas, you'd just be like another guy.
I know.
Guys would be mocking your collection, going, that's a pea shooter, boy.
The stand-up is where all the, the genius is. Hicks they knew really well, and Dennis Leary, I think when I first went there.
Well, didn't Dennis get popular in England? Like, didn't he or find himself in England and come back or whatever?
Yeah, I guess. I know Hicks got really popular there.
Yeah,
and
he
then-
certainly
and
did.
sort of came back.
I'm a big Hicks fan.
Me too.
Did you ever
listening to him
perform with him?
yesterday. They keep talking about some movie with Russell Crowe or something, or is
Yeah,
that
I
just
keep
a
hearing
rumor?
they're starting to talk
It's a
about maybe-
terrible idea because,
Yeah.
first of all, Hicks would, I think, not like it. Not that I knew him that well, but I knew him well enough to know that he wouldn't fucking like a Hollywood movie made about him.
Relentless is my favorite comedy CD.
He's
by
savage,
Bill Hicks.
man. And was he funny and really young? I was older than him, and he died way before me. And
You guys
and
came
too.
up? Did you come up together, Greg?
Huh?
Did you guys come up together, kind of?
Oh
or-
no, he was from Texas. I met him in San Francisco, and I used to have a joke where I'd go. The Union. It was about Ken Burns' PBS Civil War show. That'll give you an idea of how long ago this was.
Yeah.
The Union met the Confederacy here in a small town in Kentucky called Kill Peopleburg. And so Hicks called me Kill Peopleburg for a couple of years, right? We're doing a gig in Florida, and he comes up to me and goes, "Greg, I know your name's Greg." And I go, "Bill, I don't give a shit what you call me. You're my fucking hero." He'd always go, "Hey, Kill Peopleburg," every time he saw me because he liked the joke. And I was excited he spoke to me.
Wow.
Because I thought he was so goddamn funny.
We were working in Lubbock, Texas, me and him, and his girlfriend just dumped him. So in Lubbock, to get hookers, you'd ask the cab drivers where to go, and they would take you. So he goes, "You want to hang out with me?" And I just take a ride and sit in the car while he.
Yeah, sure you did.
No, I didn't.
This was before Bonnie. You could.
Oh
say.
no! I wasn't getting a hooker.
Jeez,
I
You sucked
banged
his dick in a wig.
No,
probably blew the cab driver.
He knocked the cab driver. the cab driver.
Cab fare,
the cab driver.
This ride's on the house.
God, hold on, we're going to hear this joke 7 times.
Shut the fuck up.
So,
Let us enjoy it, you asshole.
So he goes. The cab driver takes Hicks to the first place, and the hooker opens the door and goes, "You're a cop," and slams the door on his face.
Yeah.
Then we go to another place, and she opens the door and she goes, "You're too young," and slams the door. And he gets in the car. He does 10 minutes on stage the next night. How hookers won't fuck him in Lubbock.
Oh my
and it was
God.
he just came up with 10, or 15, and it was just so. I'm watching him going, "I'll never be this funny as long as I live."
You should say that when you watch every comic.
I know.
Watch an executioner.
You should say that when you watch a documentary on crib death.
I'm never going to be this funny. God, this SARS thing's kicking my ass.
Fuck, I love that guy. He was all right.
No, he was hilarious. There was in England a few years ago. There was a comic who did what if Hicks had lived, and extrapolated and wrote a whole act about Bush and shit. And I never went and saw it. I remember reading about it. And only thing I can think of was there was nothing I know Bill would have fucking hated more. You'd have gone down there with a gun. Like, you're going to put words in my mouth after
you're gonna
I'm dead?
speculate what I would have said about this.
because you're so,
And with all due respect to Hicks, he's not the only guy that talked about social or political
No, of course
issues.
he wasn't.
Yeah.
Guys, there are guys that this is what bothers me about, not Hicks, but people who love Hicks.
Right, the canonization.
Because guys try to do it. I think what he was doing, from what I've heard about him, I never met him, was very sincere, and he was that was the comedian he was, and he was very socially aware. But when guys try to be Hicks and they think that they're hip by clearing the room, it's like you're not clearing the room doing your act. You're attempting to clear the room, where he's a guy really doing his act,
right,
and fucking offending people by the content in his act. There's a huge difference.
It was also his delivery was really good and unique and stuff. It looked like he could give a shit if he was up there or not.
Oh, yeah.
He'd just walk around and
He went on stage at Catch when it was the hottest club in New York, and Brenner just got off, and they loved him. Brenner was, on fire, and they loved him. And Hicks walks on, goes, growing up as a kid, I used to watch Robert Klein and David Brenner, and I'm thinking, if these fucks can do comedy, so can I. That was right after him.
great.
Then he started doing that bit about Nancy Reagan, the anorexic cunt. That whole bit. The room, people... It's like someone yelled fire in the room. They were running out in droves, and he gets off stage and he goes,
or ladies and gentlemen, Rich Voss.
it's almost a callback from before.
Come on, Rich.
It's not bad.
Rich is very funny.
It's a callback. We like those. We like callbacks. That's what you do in comedy is callbacks. Okay, you're doing it for 12 fucking years.
Unfortunately,
here.
you never get one with an audition.
I can't get a callback to something I never auditioned for. Okay, I want to get the call to have a chance to get a call back. What do you get? An audition? What the fuck is that?
You ever, Ronnie obviously ran the comedy club in Florida for a while, and we're going to have the Bill Hicks guys on tomorrow.
Oh, those guys are great. I did something at the Friars Club when the movie first came out.
You saw the movie?
with them, yeah.
I saw it. What did you think?
I liked it very much.
I liked it very much too, and what makes that strange is they don't really have any video of Bill Hicks off the stage, but they made it work with pictures.
Yeah, and a lot of the friends that were there. He was kind of a man out of the time, right? I
Absolutely. But you listen to his stuff now, it makes sense today. His comedy's not dated. Bill Hicks?
No. He was amazingly. And again, he also didn't play to the audience. I was saying this when I had to do this panel with them, is like I thought the interesting thing about Bill Hicks is that he was a Southern guy saying these things that he said. He didn't play to the audience. He was like, look, not only am I here to make you laugh, but I'm trying to wake you up a little bit. But I did this panel.
Not easy to do, by the way.
And Bert Lahr's son writes for the New Yorker, and he was the Cowardly Lion.
Sure. Bert Lahr, that's great.
And this guy, I think his name is John Lahr, and he's a great writer. And he looks just like Bert Lahr.
Really?
So I couldn't, we're supposed to, and they would say, what do you think about Hicks? And I would just be looking at Bert Lahr the whole time. I'm king of the forest. But have you seen this doc yet, Jimmy?
I have literally never watched anything more than a minute on Hicks. I don't know any of his stuff. And I've heard he's great. I've heard nothing but good stuff from comedians. Love him. But it's like, at this point, I just don't want to see another comic and become influenced by. Like, I don't want to pick up something from Hicks and not, like...
And not realize it.
Yeah, because I see too many guys I know have been influenced by him. And I just don't want to know. I heard he's great, and I don't want to know.
Yeah.
It might sound ignorant, but I have the guys I love, and I just don't want to fucking watch another guy. But this I'll watch.
But man, I mean, still pictures. This movie's a lot of still pictures. And then when they go to the real people at the end, I was kind of bummed because they really made those pictures move, right?
Right.
They got some technology going on. Some way past Ken Burns shit at this point. But we're having the Bill Hicks guys in tomorrow for that documentary.
Okay.
I don't know. The movie's not for everyone, obviously, Ronnie, right?
No. It's not.
Got to be a comedy fan. Did you ever have Bill at your club?
Yeah, I actually worked a week with Bill a long time ago when I was just kind of starting out. I middled for him, and it was the weirdest thing is, and I know Jimmy, you can relate to this, is like I did better than him because I was doing this really prepared set, and then he went up there and was kind of tubing as he was experimenting in front of people. But like every joke he did was like a kick in my stomach, like, oh God, that's real. Oh God, now my fucking shit. So like I was all, and we were playing just some shitty fucking thing, and people were coming up later going, you're so much funnier. And I'm like, shut up. I'm fucking going home and I'm changing everything. I worked a year on something that's stupid. Just because you fucking assholes are laughing at it doesn't mean shit to me.
When they say, like, you should have been the headliner, and you're like, you don't understand how funny the guy was that you just saw.
Right.
Yeah, believe me, I've had that where because you look at the thing you do, in the middle is a cake spot.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to warm them up, and you don't have the pressure of closing. So you go up there and fucking bang it out for 25 minutes, and you know what you did. You know what I mean? It's like some of the material is good, some is primitive.
Right.
And then a real actor's on stage after you and not doing as well, and you almost feel embarrassed that you killed in front of them.
Yeah, and it was really just that thing of like he was fucking walking the tightrope, and I was like, do you ever notice when you're smoking pot? And they're like, yeah, fuck, we have smoked pot. This is great. And like, what's that thing? You're just fucking one after another, and you're just doing really well, and you've been working like a while to get to it. And you felt like, fuck yeah, now I got it. And then like he's up there and he's just fucking, I'm just watching his mind go from one place to the other. And it was just kind of, all right, fuck, stupid, yeah, lazy, I'm fucking lazy. But like then I got to, we just stayed in the same condo. So I talked to him all week and we hung out, and he was really a fucking brilliant guy. I mean, he was really, and we get, we get to know all the funny, fucking brilliant guys that there is, but he was a really brilliant guy, and the fucking weirdest thing is like, would, just by staying alive, I don't know if you'd be a lot better. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know whether that was, peak or what, Like, I don't know if Carlin would have died in the 70s, would he still be Carlin, to people? Probably, I mean, you add more stuff, but I don't know whether it would have been, more and more new or whatever.
But you wonder what kind of metamorphosis, because Carlin went through metamorphosis. Like, he changed a lot of what he was doing. He became angrier as he got older, and I liked his later stuff better.
The very end of it, he hated the human race so much.
Everybody.
It was just so fucking interesting.
I say so fucking awesome.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought it was amazing that he just called out everybody.
You are
And
all
he was
diseased.
creating right to the fucking end.
His last one was sad, I thought, because he looked like he was slowing down. The one he did in front of the tombstone, did you ever see that one?
No.
He had some heart trouble that year. He had put some weight on. Wasn't his best work, but I think because that was health. But You Are All Diseased was just, I think his wife had passed away, and he was unloading on people accurately. Oh, it was great. I loved him angry.
Why did you stop doing stand-up, Ronnie? I don't think I ever asked you that.
For me at the time, because I had like a big radio show and I was just staying in that area, it got to be the same
Too much.
thing, and I would go out and everybody like, "Hey," and then I didn't challenge myself, so I just fucking went off of it. But I don't see a big difference from what I did on stage than what I do here. Because I wasn't doing a lot of prepared material. I was just going out. So
Do you miss the interaction of the audience,
no,
though?
not at all.
Really?
Not even slightly.
Would you ever go back to
I don't
it?
think they add. I think I could go back to it. Yeah,
Of course you could.
but I don't know. I couldn't do what Jimmy does, where I'm up late and then I'm traveling. I'm coming. I just
You'd have
the traveling thing is just something like I want to travel for fun, not for.
Well, would you do it
gigs.
locally?
I don't even know if I'd. I mean, what would be the difference? What would be the addition?
It's a good question.
It's a different animal, and to the degree of like what I like about it is the immediacy of knowing how funny it is.
Getting the reaction right away.
The
'Cause
immediacy, yeah.
What sucks about radio, we don't know. We don't even know if this is
I
working
absolutely
right now.
do know. That's the fucking seriously. I fucking know. I'm like, I know I'm off on a bad tangent. I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna get on a good tangent.
Oh yeah, well you know some of that shit.
But I don't. I don't know if I even want to just be funny all the time. I think what I like about doing radio is that you just don't have to. Hey, they paid money, so I got to give them something. I'd rather sit down and just fucking talk about something
And mix it up. Get serious.
You
get
can
funny.
meander, as they say.
Yeah, yeah.
The it's a but when I see what Charlie Sheen is doing now and some of his work, I'm like, yeah, it's still.
Well, do you know what's fun about live stand-up is like, because on the radio, again, even when you don't know exactly how they're feeling, there's no pushback. But I like when I'm doing stand-up, if I'm talking about a subject where I know I'm cutting off their exits, like I know how audiences are and they want to disagree and they want to,
right.
But almost like I know where I'm going to go, and I like fucking setting it up so they can't back out and groan at me or fucking walk away. I like kind of pinning them into where they have to laugh at it because they feel hypocritical if they don't.
What do you like doing better? You're the guy doing both.
I love for different reasons. Radio is amazing because we could just sit here and talk.
Right.
But the stand-up is it's a very powerful feeling.
Yeah.
Do you think in the last 5 years your stand-up has changed a lot, though? Do you feel like you're still making the kind of changes that you did when you were younger, or?
Yeah, more so, I think, yeah. Because I've gotten less, because I have my own fan base and people will come,
right.
I'm less worried about winning them over. Like, I know I have to be funny. I don't mail it in, but I know I have enough confidence to go, I'm a funny guy, I'm a good comedian. So even when I'm missing, I can kind of relax and find where I want to go with it. I'm much more comfortable exploring now. But I don't do it as much as I did a few years ago because the schedule is grueling. I mean, I used to do 7 sets on a weekend. I would do 4 on Saturday. I don't know, I held my hands up. 4 and 3 Friday.
But you're also, touring a lot more than you used to, right? I mean, you're constantly in a plane. You're
headline gigs, because the money. It's great to go out and make the cash.
I just think that's so rough, though, man. When I see you doing it, like you're working here and then go and do a weekend across the country and then be back here.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
how he
brutal.
does
This is
it.
brutal.
I really don't know how he does it.
I like having this to come back to though. It's a corny, but it's like coming back to my regular. This is my regular gig. I love this gig. I
Right.
really do,
Right.
and I love coming back to it. I love knowing it's
but
here.
What Ronnie's saying, I mean, you'll leave on a Thursday to
Yeah.
L.A. or Irvine was the last one, I guess, and then you're back here on Monday. I can't even imagine that.
I love it. I love being busy because
Right.
all the guys that aren't, man, all the guys that were that don't do radio, that just
Right.
dropped out, man, those guys that didn't want to, the guys that would just wanted to take off New Year's Eve and hang out with their friends and stuff like that, they're miserable now. They're like, well, how do you get on TV? Like they're
How do you get on TV?
Yeah, man.
I didn't do it.
Because they didn't do the work, man. And
Yeah.
they're miserable. What time are the Bill Hicks guys here? Sorry.
8:30.
Okay. Dave will be in when they're here. Attell, right?
Dave will be here in a few minutes,
Okay.
hopefully.
Oh, yeah, because I think he
He
knew
might
Bill.
even be here by the time we get back.
Okay, good.
Ronnie B saw the movie too. We both liked it.
I didn't see it, man. Do I have a copy of it?
I'm kind of bummed you don't know Bill Hicks.
No, at this point, I don't want to watch him. But it's not out of, again, I've heard he's great.
My pal Jay, who gets confused with Jay Moore. See, a lot of people think that me and Jay Moore did the Javalog thing from the famous Javalog story. That's not true. I have another really good friend, Jay, who actually moved to LA a while ago. Married with 2 kids, by the way. So, and he was the one who turned me on to Bill Hicks.
Really?
Oh, fuck yeah. I didn't know him until about maybe 10 years ago. No idea. He's great. But you don't want to listen, huh?
Not at all.
You don't want to be influenced.
Don't. No, not just for that reason. I don't. Because if I haven't heard him by this point,
No, I don't. I know you don't want to be influenced, but it surprises me that you don't want to hear some of the greats because you're scared you're going to be influenced.
yeah, like I already.
Because you're not one of those guys that are taking off people. I know that.
No. But you never again, Pryor and Carlin were my entire life. Woody Allen, since I was like 11 or 10, I would listen to Woody. So those are ones that are just a part of my fucking upbringing.
Right.
But anybody new, I don't watch comedians at all.
Right.
I just don't. Colin, I'll watch once in a while. Attell, of course, and on the tour, I watched a little bit of everybody and fucking.
Well, Bill Hicks was so different.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really give a shit if he was killing. He knew he was funny, but he also wanted to say some things.
I've seen moments of him. I've seen clips of him with a. There's a very famous clip of him with a heckler.
Right.
I've seen a little bit here and there, but never. I just won't watch.
Right. All right. We'll talk to those guys though at 8:30. Does Dave Attell know Bill Hicks?
I'm sure he likes him. I don't know if he ever knew him or not. I'm interested to know that.
All right, I lost Jimmy. What a weird week. People just coming and going. Hopefully it sounds like something out there. We got Dave Attell kind of walking down the hall slowly, looking like he's going to break into someone's home. Jimmy's in the bathroom. And we got the Bill Hicks guys here. And I just got my Bill Hicks t-shirt. Which, thumbs up, yeah. You got to pull the mic down, sir. So who do we got in the studio? What's up, Jimmy? The
Hi.
Bill Hicks guys to your right.
I know. We're just coming back on.
It's Matt and Paul and David Tell. What's up,
David Tell's
Dave?
just walking in too.
How are you, sir?
What did I walk in on?
Well,
we just came back from break.
We just got back, Dave, and we're going to talk to these guys who made a film about Bill Hicks. Did you know Bill Hicks?
Yes, I did.
You did?
I met him twice, and I saw him perform at the old Improv in New York City, and it was great because this was in the late 80s when hacks ruled the comedy world. Like you needed a guitar or a puppet, and it's not like today where you just need, I guess...
Dry irony.
Yeah, dry irony or a goddess. And today it was great because the club owner at the time was like, I don't get this guy. Get him off.
Really?
And then they brought out the next guy doing the clapper joke.
Oh,
So
Jesus Christ.
that's what I got.
Who was the guy that didn't get Bill Hicks?
Tim Allen. No, I don't know. No, it was the club owner of the.
How do you not get Bill Hicks? Did he make people uncomfortable?
Well, he was
because he wasn't like joke guy.
He was dark, and that was like the late '80s. People didn't want that.
Right.
It was a different time.
And he probably didn't get him because if the crowd wasn't enjoying it, anything the crowd's not enjoying, the club owner won't enjoy it. But if the crowd was going crazy, then the club owner would have loved it. They don't care what the comic's doing as long as the crowd likes it.
Well, he obviously was a very funny guy, very smart guy, a very dark guy, like David Tell said.
One of the things that, some of the comedians had said that we spoke to was that Bill kind of taught them, some of the younger guys coming up, that you shouldn't be afraid to walk the room. Like, you're going out there with your material, and that if they are not getting it and that you don't feel like you want to change and make them happy,
Right.
then do what you want to do and be prepared to have them leave.
Well, that's easy for him to say, but if
Yeah.
you're an up and coming guy, if you're not getting the job done, then you don't get ass backed.
That was before Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, people walked out, they went out into their rest of their lives. Now, you know, it never ends.
And Hicks, though, the thing with Hicks, though, and I'm not even a guy who followed Hicks, but I like the fact that I think when he would walk a room, at least it was sincere. Like, people who've seen Hicks a million, they said that he was just doing his act. And people didn't like it, or they were offended by the religious stuff. When you see guys trying to walk the room, you know, they're trying to emulate Hicks, and it doesn't come off as genuine. But I think the fact that he would walk them with his act is important. It's a big difference.
I'm a huge fan of Bill Hicks, but huge fan of comedy in general. Love these guys and all. Bill Hicks was one of those guys I never got to see.
Well,
really?
Yeah, just on fucking tape, and you know, his comedy CDs.
I just wanted to say, like, the second time I met him, since thanks for that follow-up. No, the second time we met him was after, like, another show where, like, once again, the crowd didn't get him. And I don't know if people knows about Bill Hicks, but, like, he was, like, a master guitar player. Like, he's from Texas, and I guess it's, like, the, you know, something in the water down there. But he was just, like, an amazing guitar player. And we were hanging out at a guy's house, everybody smoking pot. And he's like, hey, is that a guitar? You know, he was sober at this point. And he's like, can I use that guitar for a second? And he picks it up, he's just, like, jamming on the guitar. You're like, oh, my. As a young comic, you're like, not only is he a great comic, he's, like this otherworldly being. He's, like, so talented, you know? And then he complimented me on one of my jokes. He gave me a tag.
Oh, wow. What was the tag?
He said, put some cream on it. No, he had a great, you know, just like comedy mind. So that like made me like I was like floating on air when he was like even listening to one of my jokes. But he definitely was the guy who I think a lot of these people, like Jim said, they emulate. They want to be him. But I don't think they have the same rage and anger, and they also don't have the same street cred that he did because he worked a lot of. Are you allowed to curse again?
Yeah.
He worked like some of the shittiest B-room club, like hardcore, like, you know, Alabama, you know, whatever, Shreveport, you know, like just basically down and dirty beer hall kind of places. A lot of these other guys who were, you know, supposedly these, you know, truth-telling, you know, comic storyteller people, they work like L.A., they work here, they work South by Southwest, you know, they work like 3 or 4 different places, and you know, he was definitely out there for years and years and years with people like talk about the crowd walking the crowd. Like the crowd was like viciously angry. They wanted to fight him after every show. So
yeah,
and it's like there's like a guy who speaks like there's a truth to power. You know, it's like what a lot of guys today don't realize is the things that were considered rebellious a lot of times when Bill was doing them, which is I guess in what the late '70s, early '80s when he was. You know, when did he perform? What were his years of performing?
He made it into the '90s,
early '90s. Yeah.
You the guys who made the movie, right?
That's us.
Yeah,
cool.
Okay.
They're not necessarily the same
Sorry, I'm
things that are rebellious today. So a lot of guys are like they do the type of stuff Bill did, but it's like they're like you said, it's not real. Their rage. It's just they're trying to like manufacture what a guy like that created.
It's weird. He's been gone a while now, and his stuff isn't dated. You could put on his comedy CDs, and it makes sense with what's going on in the world today.
We get a lot of that. We get that a lot of people come in contact with us and say we didn't know he was dead.
Oh, really?
Having just discovered him, like you know,
Really?
seeing him on YouTube. Where can I go and see this guy?
Now, how did you
that's
guys
how
know?
relevant.
Did you guys know him, or how did you get involved with this project? It's called American, the Bill Hicks Story.
Well, yeah, I mean, as you can tell, we're a couple of Brits by our plummy accents, and as you might know, Bill was really, really big in the UK.
He got huge in Britain, and kind of frustrated he wasn't as big in America.
But he also did very well in Canada. Obviously, his breakout performance was at Montreal Just for Laughs in '91, and then in Australia he did a very big tour over there. So there are certain, you know, places that he's really well known, and obviously in places like Austin over here in the US, where you've got like you know big followings.
A question for the room, not just you guys. Why do you think he didn't get big in America?
Because we suck over here. We don't appreciate anything until we.
He obviously had his following, but I mean, he was selling out. He was selling out theaters, and in this movie, you talk about it, where he'd come back from selling out theaters all over Europe, and then come home to like Dave said to these shitty comedy clubs.
But at that time, we'd had that kind of, not Bill's kind of comedy, but we'd had you know, alternative comedy on TV for several years by then. And it was just kind of a different climate. Also, because the UK is much smaller, if someone's a big splash at the Edinburgh Comedy Festival, where Bill first appeared, then the whole country gets to hear about it.
Right.
Whereas the States is so huge that, you know, these guys were really well known in Houston, but weren't known in New York or LA.
Now, were you guys hired to do this project, or was your idea? You know, walk us through this a little bit.
Yeah, we developed it. I mean, basically, we were lucky enough on the 10th anniversary of Bill's death to have some contact with his family. So basically, there were tribute nights going on around the world, which is kind of unprecedented if you think about it. I mean, I don't know many other comedians who have tribute nights for them, but we were doing the London one. We got in touch with Bill's family.
We certainly will have one for Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we just had one for Greg Giraldo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giraldo was a great comic, man.
You guys know Greg?
a great
No?
one.
And so what happened was that we put
Did you guys know Greg or no?
No, we didn't.
Oh, they didn't.
We saw Greg when we did a movie preview at the Gotham a few years ago and met Greg there.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, he was a pretty bright fucking comic, man. I liked him.
I have a question.
Yeah.
England, you brought it up. It was so true that like we usually don't get like how good something is until it goes. You know, he basically. I remember when he went to England for the first time, Bill Hicks, and he. You know, that's when all the great reviews started coming out. When you guys finally, you know, kind of saw the genius in it, and I think a lot of it had to do with you guys were cooler with the rage that he really had against the government and like society and commercialism and all that kind of stuff. And I guess the guy who I always consider the kind of heir apparent to Bill would be Doug Stanhope, and I know he's also very big in England. So
I think he's over there now touring.
Is Doug big in England?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he plays the Leicester Square Theatre quite often, which is a big room, and you know, he gets invited back a lot because he has that same fire. I think he has that same commitment, which maybe means that you're not always like knocking out one-liners every sort of 2 or 3 minutes. That you're actually exploring a subject, and you're not afraid to go there. And I think that's why people respond to him.
Sure,
they're like me too, because I'm very angry about like game shows and things like that.
Well, I'm just basically. Well, it's amazing how like we send over these amazing comics. And then you guys send over these guys to do these movies that these like, you know, Katherine Heigl, whatchamacallit, Seth Rogen-y movies. And we watch them on planes going towards your country. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, basically, it's not. It's
we're,
not fair.
We're sorry.
All right, so
wow, I thought I could start a nice.
Yeah, I know. So
too good.
So you ran into the family at a 10-year death reunion thing.
Well, the family were obviously over in the States, but that was our first contact with them. Yeah. And then we spent a couple of years not only getting to know them and trying to gain their trust, but and to prove that we were the right guys to make the film, but also exploring how we were going to put it together. Because, you know, as you said, Bill wasn't someone who would maybe get money thrown at a project about him over in the States, and that's kind of why it came from the UK.
Yeah, I wanted to see this movie for a while because I heard about it, and I was like, how are they going to pull this off? Because there's not a lot of video of Bill Hicks. I mean, there's a lot of performance video, obviously.
A lot
but
of
not,
great specials, though.
Yeah, but not him just hanging out. If you're doing a documentary, you don't have him, you know, just chilling. So you guys made it work by doing a lot with pictures, photographs. You want to explain that a little bit? I mean, where you got the idea?
Well, when we first got to know the family and did some research, there were just so many photographs of Bill. He'd collected a lot through his career. He'd kept all of those, you know, VHS tapes from the comedy clubs, but also just photos from friends and photo shoots. And they kind of just showed the picture. Because the thing about Bill is he evolved so much through his life, and you can see that going from, you know, the young colt through several stages in his life. And we'd seen this film called Kid Stays in the Picture, which had kind of done a bit of 3D photography.
Yeah, that was a good film, man.
Yeah, it's a fantastic film.
Yeah.
And what it does is it takes you into that world. You're not watching talking heads on a screen cut with clips. You go back into that world.
Right.
But we realised you could take it a lot further and rebuild the real locations. So that's Bill's real childhood home when they're sneaking out to go down to the comedy club against their parents' permission. And then we rebuilt the comedy club where Bill and the other comics in Houston used to perform.
What was
and
it
they've
called,
since seen them.
the club?
The Comics Annex, which was part of the comedy workshop there.
Did you do any of the Laugh Stop? Any of those clubs like that? Because Houston, it was a really huge comedy town. The Dirty did you guys talk about this? The Texas Dozen, you know, Jimmy Pineapple.
The Texas Outlaw Comics.
Yeah, they're all featured in the film.
And and Riley Barber and all those. Did you talk to all of them?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's great.
John Farnetti is actually in town tonight for our premiere tomorrow. And obviously Jimmy Pineapple, now James Lamoureux, and Andy Huggins. They were kind of the guys who
He'll always be known as Jimmy Pineapple to me.
Yeah, sure.
Esquire, by the way.
James Pineapple Esquire. Yeah,
yes.
no, you're right. But what the great thing about those guys was that they kind of they got to Bill at the right age. He was 17 or 18. He walks into this comedy club and he finds them, and they basically bring him on as a performer, and they also teach him about drinking drinking and drugs and girls as well. But they
Right.
taught him about what it meant to be a performer, and what that entailed was, being true to who you were as a person and not being afraid to go and explore topics that were interesting. And so he met them at the right time. They kind of nurtured him and brought him along, and they were lifelong friends.
And he hit right at 17 and 18. He was killing.
He was a killer act. He definitely. I saw him one time at the not at the Cafe Wa in New York, but it used to be like on like where Dylan
Village Underground?
the Village Underground one time, and he was shooting a special there, and the crowd didn't get him because I think it was like salsa night, and then he came out. It was really like one of those weird kind of situations, and like. They weren't getting him, and he was shooting a special, and this was like, I guess, just like something they threw together, and he immediately like went from like, I'm doing the prepared material to rage, which I love, and he just had so many great like quick one-liners just from his many years of road stuff, which separates him immediately from these alternative comics, which is like I think a lot of them don't have that like kind of road able to work a situation, it's like it's a performance art thing. But he was like a comic, in his soul, so he could definitely handle it. But I'm glad that you guys are doing this because he definitely is underrated, and he's also as more important in comedy than a lot of people think.
I mean, you could tell us this though. I mean, a lot of comedians, as I understand it, like look at other comics up on the stage and say that they can see how many hours they've done, they can see how many nights just by how crafted they are, And obviously, Bill was doing like 207 when he was sober, and he was working all the time. He was doing 275 nights a year, and so you look at the guy up on stage, and you just can see his mastery of an audience. You can see his comfortableness there. You can see his craft, and also the one-liners and the put-downs are part of that too. But it's about the ability to kind of like move around any subject matter that you want and like just sort of pull it all together.
Was there other Bill Hicks guys at the time, Dave? Or was he like one of the only, you know what I mean? Not.
It was Bill Hicks, let's see, Bob Zaney.
But were there any other guys that were kind of going dark when Bill Hicks was doing it?
Kinnison was fairly dark.
Kinnison was?
Yeah.
And they were both in Houston at the same time, right?
Yeah, they were actually mentor. Sam was sort of almost a mentor to Bill at a younger age.
He used to perform with him,
but
didn't he?
it seems like Sam might have bit off Bill Hicks.
Well, that's a good question, but I never got to see Sam live, but I've seen Bill.
Seen
live.
Sam live. Holy shit!
I never got to see it, and the more I do comedy, the more I realize that's the reason why you get into comedy, which is what Sam Kinison was doing. Which not the later time with the rock and roll, but when he was like before all the celebrity hit, he was like there was nobody who brought that much energy, but both high and low on stage the way he did it. He was an imposing figure, but yet everybody walked out of there, even if he was screaming in their face, they still felt like they had a great time. They were light. They didn't feel, like it was like a horrible experience. But he was an amazing performer. So I think he also is another guy who is underrated, and I think a lot of it had to do with like the drugs and the partying and the rock star lifestyle.
Who did he work with? It was Kinnison, and he worked. I know Hicks was one of his guys, and he used to tour. When I saw Sam, he toured with Alan Stevens, Carl LeBeau, and Mitch Walters, I think, were the three
Schubert
guys
was
in
one
front
of the guys,
him. Oh,
too.
was Jimmy one of those guys? Okay.
I believe so. He was one of the outlaws.
With Kinnison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
I've
see
seen him
him
doing the
ago.
amphitheater when he's doing the big tours,
Okay.
But like when you see him, like supposedly, like I never got to see him. The guy I asked would be like Mark Maron because he like basically lived with those guys out in L.A. in the early '80s. But when he would hit the Comedy Store in the early '80s, he just ruled the place, and that was a really great place for like a lot of these young guys. When I was doing comedy in the beginning, the wave of comedy was over, like the really cool wave. So it was a lot of people trying to be like the sweater comics, the Skip Stevensons and the whatever, like the did you have you ever thought about, and a lot of lame ass observational stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Bill Hicks was definitely the standout, and Letterman got it. They got it right away, but then I always feel like it's sad that like he didn't get a chance to he should have been on there like more than he was, like every couple of weeks, every couple of months or whatever. He should have been a panel guest, and we really would have gotten here.
I think they found the process of vetting, which obviously they do on those shows, and the producer will go out, see the act 2 or 3 times, take out jokes they don't like. I think that Bill found that uncomfortable sometimes, and
it's horrible.
He had to go through it obviously to get on the show, and then obviously on the 12th appearance, so he was on 11 times, and the 12th appearance, which was about 3-4 months before he died, was the one which was sort of famously canned.
And Letterman regretted that, but I don't like the fact he waited 25 years to play it.
And then he dramatically played it. Like, we should have played this a long time ago. We're playing it tonight.
The day after Hicks died, they should have played that out of respect.
Bill's mom was there. Dave made a whole thing about it. So he did a make good, I guess.
What was it, religious stuff or something? Whatever the material was that.
What was the big problem?
They told him not to do something. What was it?
It wasn't Billy Ray Cyrus, was it?
There was a couple of things. I think one was kind of the sort of the nastiness of the perceived nastiness of offering to kill someone with a shotgun, and who maybe was beloved at the time.
Yeah.
And then the other stuff was some apparently religious stuff about the Pope or pro-life. So there was a couple of, they described them as hot button topics.
Right.
And it's the kind of thing that I think that maybe they wouldn't think twice about today, as Dave said when he showed the clip.
That's America. That's how we
said,
are.
They're still fucking with comics.
Oh God, yeah.
You can look at these guys. They have their own stories. So
no, they definitely vet your set, and they do have a lot of topics they don't want you to talk about. And I don't know if that's true in England on your chat shows or whatever, but over here, like, you really have to it's basically you do the material they tell you to do.
I think one of the reasons that Bill thought that he went over so well in the UK, you were asking about that earlier, was that he was able to do, after this Montreal set was filmed, they played it unedited on Channel 4, an hour and 10 minutes, and there was only 4 channels in the UK at that time.
Wow.
And basically, a really good proportion of the country just hooked into him, and rarer and rarer nowadays, it was a water cooler moment. People next day were saying, "Did you see that guy?"
Right.
And it really was a sort of a consciousness attaining performance.
Sure.
And I think that one of the things that he was lucky to do, as Paul was saying, was hitting Channel 4 at the right time, where they were looking for people to push the boundaries. They were looking for people who didn't give a shit about profanity, and that they were interested in someone who was really going to blow the socks off their audience, and that's what Bill did at just the right time.
The vetting process is different over there as well, and you can pretty much do what you want on the show, and they then look who complains afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So the show don't decide so much, and then over time,
it's called balls.
Yeah, no kidding. America, the Bill Hicks story. I really enjoyed this damn documentary you guys made. It's well done. These guys did a great job at the pictures and stuff.
They handed us these cards, by the way. Did you?
I thought it was a menu.
What is this?
Well, this is a Bill Hicks menu for the soul.
It's called Bill Hicks's Principles of Comedy.
Well, this
really?
is sorry, you don't have
Let's
one.
go
Let me
through
chuck
them.
one over there.
Let me see this.
It's printed out and posted by Bill on the wall at the Laughing Skull in Atlanta. Is that around still or no?
That's still there. Yes,
The Laughing
still
Skull?
a club. Yes.
Oh, by the way, that's the best thing when you go to comedy clubs. Like, I'm going to Raleigh. They have all the great old headshots. And Bill, he started when he was 15 or something like that. So he's got the baby headshot. Then he's got the bad boy headshot. But his every time I see it, I always give it a little tap because he is great.
The amazing thing for us, though, coming over here as two Brits, is obviously we've got this film that we think people should know about who Bill is, and that he's somebody who's important in terms of the American cultural timeline. What we've been amazed by is how the American comedic community has come out to support the film. So we're working here in New York with Gotham, with Eastville, with the Upright Citizens Brigade. In LA, we're doing a screening for the comics only at the Comedy Store, which is going to be amazing. And then we have Paul Provonza, who's going to be hosting our premiere in LA, and then the next night Bob Weed, director of Curb Your Enthusiasm, the next night Colin Hanks. So we have some really nice people coming out to support the film, and essentially showing that they do know who Bill was, and that they feel that other people should know who the hell he was too.
What's the Tool connection with Maynard? You didn't really get into that with the film.
Bill and Maynard were friends, and
how did they meet?
I don't know, actually, but I do remember a gag that Bill did. He opened for Tool a couple of times, and one of them was he said he'd lost his contact lens in the mosh pit. Can anyone have a look for it? But the idea, I think, was that they just found each other interesting, and so Tool asked Bill to support them on a tour, and he managed to do a couple of gigs, but not a full tour.
Tool really loves Bill Hicks.
Yeah, and obviously they featured him on, I think, 3 songs on their album.
3 of their songs are basically Bill Hicks's routine.
What's the how do you say
they put
that
to
one?
Music. Arizona Bay?
No. The other one, Anemia.
Yeah.
Anemia.
Anemia.
Oh,
yeah.
is it Anemia's name of the song? Or no, I don't think it's Anemia. Is it?
That's the album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That fucking album's great, and there's a lot of Bill Hicks featured on that damn thing.
Not to backtrack, but when you're talking about the Montreal Comedy Festival, that's where he broke. The only other guy ever to break as hard would have been Mitch Hedberg, because he was another guy who left Montreal with just raves, and well deservedly. And he also, in my experience, he mastered the Letterman spot better than anybody else, because that is a hard thing. Jim knows it. Doing a 6-minute set, like we said, is vetted, it's prepared, and like his material is so clean, but so different that like just every joke blew the audience away. So
Well, I mean, Opie's seen the film. I mean, basically one of the things that runs throughout the film is that idea about what it means to be a comedian, and part of that is choices that you make about what you do with your material and whether you're able to do a 5-minute clean spot and whether that makes you happy or not.
Right.
And obviously some people like Bill just were not considered 5-minute comics by himself, and said, well, okay, I need to work longer form, and how do I do that? And if TV is not going to let me, then that's the way that's going to be.
yeah, but he still was great in the short form because he had great jokes. I mean, he had amazing jokes, and when you watch him on the Young Comedian special, he held his own. Unfortunately, that was like the special I'm talking about, Rodney Dangerfield's.
Yeah, nothing goes right.
And who else was on that special? Because that's like a
Dice Clay.
Dice Clay, and
Was Hicks on Dice's special? I didn't know that. Are
and
they on the
also,
same night?
Wow.
Schimmel,
Barry
another great comic.
Was Barry Sobel on
Wasn't
that
it?
one? Too. There was another guy with a leather jacket, and I remember the Dice argued with him because Dice wanted to wear the leather. There was one guy after him.
Maybe Dom Herrera too.
Wow,
I don't
Jesus.
remember.
I would love
Fuck.
to see that lineup.
See if someone could look it
I
up.
think
Can
I'm
you look up that
confusing two
lineup?
specials,
You're
'cause-
probably right.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The thing that was really upsetting to Bill, though, was that obviously he'd gone on and thought he had his big break, and obviously Dice Clay comes out with the rude limericks, and he got all the praise and all the attention after that special, and Bill thought it was his big break and that he was going to go big, and it just he got eclipsed on that night.
Well, I think the cool thing about it is who has the last laugh, huh? And who does?
Probably Dice is still alive.
But that was so sad because people thought Bill Hicks, like, I always thought he was way older than me. But he was only like a couple years older than me. He died when he was 32, which is like really, it was like just as he was
Hit.
it is a great topic for a movie that's well overdue.
I think the interesting thing is that we've been speaking to a lot of people. For example, John Lahr from the New Yorker magazine, who's written really nicely
Yes.
about Bill, and he considers Bill to be the direct antecedent of people like Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, who are now doing that kind of material, but actually finding an audience on TV. And I think the thing that's most interesting about it is that you have the ability to get an audience thinking about not just political stuff but satirical stuff, and you're doing it now on a nightly basis to 2-3 million people, and that's something that at the time Bill was actually up for political correctness, like Bill Maher's first TV show. So at that time, he was almost in one of those chairs.
Who did he look up to, Bill Hicks? Who was his guy? I'm going to guess Carlin. I mean, who were his guys who he admired?
Woody Allen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he went all the way back to Chaplin,
Really?
and then he was obviously very enamoured of Richard Pryor when he saw the
Sure.
Live on Sunset Strip. Kind of really blew him away.
How could he not be?
And then
that's one of the best specials ever.
No, I think Live in Concert was better. Sunset Strip was after he burned himself.
Yeah, but
And
that still was really good.
It was
That
very
was
deep.
cool, man.
When he stopped saying nigger, that was like when he kind of made
Hey.
the proclamation.
Whoa,
I
hey,
believe me, I
what's
wrote
up?
him. You should say it
Whoa,
more.
sorry.
But that's when he kind of said he would never say that again, and he had like an epiphany, I guess.
And then,
Yeah, but don't you think that like the crowds now are so politically correct that like I think they still wouldn't really get him, Bill Hicks. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on the actual like doing and seeing of comedy, but I think people really just they don't want to hear they just want silliness and whatever personal bullshit. I don't know. What do you think, Jim?
I think a lot of things that like what is considered really going against the grain has changed a little in the last 15 or like it's a lot. You can make fun of the church a lot safer now. It's not as big a deal anymore, which they've kind of brought on themselves. And a lot of guys today are attacking the church like it's this act of rebellion, and it's like it's really not. It's a bit different now if you're attacking Islam, or if you're going after race. Those are things that are very taboo today, which may not have been at one point. So I don't know how he would do now, but he probably would have switched gears and attacked other things.
But he was from the South, okay, so he grew up in that culture. And then he would play these clubs, like I said. Like, it's easy to do a church joke at Largo in L.A., but to do it in, like, some casino riverboat in Mississippi, I mean, like, that's real danger. That's really, like, edgy. Like, I believe in this, and I don't give a shit about the crowd.
And 20 years ago, it was definitely a lot more dangerous than it is now, even. I mean,
sure.
20 years ago to be doing... Because, again, he wasn't a guy who needed... I know there was no alternative clubs back then.
Yeah.
It's like guys who did that type of material back then just did it in front of comedy audiences. It's like there was no, I need my own crowd here. It's like Andy Kaufman. He didn't do it in front of a hip alternative crowd that would pretend they liked it whether they did or not. He did it in front of fucking, Catch a Rising Star audience. Thought he was a fucking an idiot.
Yeah, let me go to the phones. We got Terry in Erie, Pennsylvania. We're talking about the Bill Hicks documentary. It's called American. When is this being released, guys?
It's opening in New York, Cinema Village tomorrow, and it's going to be out in LA and then the rest of the country from the 15th. So please check it out.
Right on. Terry, what do you got?
Hey, good morning, boys.
Good morning.
I know Bill and Dennis Leary were feuding for a little while over material. Did they ever wind up patching things up before Bill passed away, or?
I believe that the Leary situation is something that comes up a lot because we get asked about it in terms of like, did they, didn't they? And I think it's one of those things that is kind of, between them in some ways. Whether they patched up or not, we don't know.
Well,
but
obviously,
I think people do know that Bill's a little upset about it.
Yeah, obviously Bill Hicks came out with his album way before Dennis Leary, and there's a lot of similar material, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, one of the things that comedians, some comedians are known for doing, people like Robin Williams, as I understand it, were quite cool with like people borrowing bits off each other and stuff. But I think the recording it and the putting it down on an album, that's the bit that kind of hurt.
Right.
And also the fact that it sold 1 million copies and, got Dennis Leary massive MTV viewership,
Sure.
When Bill was still playing the clubs. So, it hurt.
Did you try to interview Dennis?
No.
You didn't?
Well, I would have tried to interview him about it. Why not?
Well, I guess because the way that the film came about was that we went to go and see Bill's family and friends, and the interviewees that we got like really, really told the story, and it was kind of like the person behind the performer.
Now Bill's dad is no longer with us, but the mom's still around. What does she have to say about Dennis Leary?
Well, you can meet her. She's coming into town tomorrow night for the show.
Oh, cool. Does she talk about the Dennis thing?
Not really. Steve, his brother, mentions it a bit, but as well, this far on, how much would Bill really be worried about that sort of thing? Unless Dennis was still copying him now.
Right.
Well, although Steve did tell that cool joke when we were here in Gotham like 3 years ago. It was like, why does Dennis Leary have a career? Because there's no cure for cancer.
That's funny.
And Steve told that, and the audience went, whoa! And it was like, well, no. He was kind of being funny. I think they thought he was like making a dig. He wasn't. He was just like joking
Who's
about
Steve?
it. Steve's Bill's brother. Steve Hicks.
Who did they think he was making a dig at?
Well, I think they thought he was like making some sort of like weird cancer reference. And
But if he was, it's his brother. How about they let him do it? This is why audiences should be fucking executed.
That's a great line, by the way.
It's a funny line.
Yeah.
Hicks was a very fucking edgy guy, and his brother does a cancer joke, and they're like, "Oh, that's not polite." Like, the crowds just stink.
What?
And they're there to tribute the guy.
The guy
like,
who
they should know that. Yeah.
And shitheads.
Sorry, we apologize. For
And Steve doesn't do comedy, right?
No, he was just up there, as part of the tribute.
It's pretty obvious in your film that he didn't really, he doesn't have the funny bone, Steve.
He's actually pretty good on stage.
It must suck to have a brother that's just so fucking smart and funny.
The competition in the family would have been tough, I would say.
What does Steve do for a living?
Well, he used to work for a company that basically marketed bands. He was like, what's the name of that company he worked for? It was like the big record store across Austin.
Right.
He's now working in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
There you go. Let me say hi to Jonathan in Detroit. Jonathan.
Hey, how are you doing?
Welcome aboard.
Just wanted to let you know there are 4 songs actually that Tool did that's related to Bill Hicks. It's called Third Eye.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of it, kind of some trippy music where he's doing his stand-up. Eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
Hooker with a Penis. And the CD is actually called Enema.
Yeah, the album's Enema. We fucked that up.
Thank you.
Wow.
All right. Thank you.
But that was the set that got him banned. I remember there was two bits that they didn't want to play. One of them was like, we have to kill. It was like some country western guy. No, he's like, no, I want you to go out there tonight, and he's on TV doing a TV set, and hunt him down and kill him. Let's turn this into a game show. I'm going to hunt blah blah.
Billy Ray Cyrus. I'm almost positive.
It was Billy Ray Cyrus. Definitely.
So that was like definitely one of them. And
I almost agree with them on that one. It's like,
Right.
well, you're gonna get the guy fucking sued.
And he has the classic joke when you remember, like when all these reality TV shows came out, like Eliminate and all that kind of stuff, which is like, if you're on TV desperately trying to get a joke, just stay home and masturbate. And that's like when the standards were like, whoa, can you say masturbate on American television?
Right.
I don't know, on English television you probably can say that.
Yeah, I think you can say wank.
Wank,
Wank.
diddle,
Yeah.
diddle the governor. There's a lot of euphemisms over there.
Wait, Bill Hicks principles. I'm going to read one of these.
Okay.
Principles of comedy. Number 1. There's 12. This is the first one. If you can be yourself on stage, nobody else can be you, and you have the law of supply and demand covered.
Wow.
So I don't agree with that. I like to just emulate others.
Do you?
Who have you chosen?
Just a few local guys. This is what an unfunny guy I am. I couldn't think of one guy to mention, so I just said local guys.
What about the Shucky guy?
Shucky ducky quack quack.
Shucky ducky quack quack. Hey, so when Bill got sick, he was gone within less than a year, right?
He was diagnosed in June, and he was gone by February the following year.
What kind of cancer did he have?
From June to
Pancreatic, the
February.
worst.
Oh, pancreas is horrible.
Yeah.
And it was stage 4, I believe, when it was diagnosed. But it's an old man's disease. He was
That's 8
32.
months.
I don't think.
But he had it in his family, and he also the coolest thing about it is, I know a little bit about him too. Sorry, fellas.
I
He
love
was one
that
of
you're
my
here
heroes.
today, Dave. I
like
didn't even
how
know.
they're smirking at me. Yeah, you weren't sitting in a Red Roof Inn somewhere researching him. Anyway, he started smoking again once because he had quit, and then he started smoking again.
Said,
I think
"Fuck
that's
it."
balls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pancreatic stage 4, you're fucking doomed. There's
done.
nothing you can do.
But at the same time, Bill did actually felt that he might pull through, and that he kind of saw it. He called it his wake-up call, not his death bell. And basically, as I'm sure Dave knows, went on and recorded another 2 albums after he was diagnosed. So Arizona Bay and Rantini Minor were both released posthumously after being engineered by Kevin Booth, and were recorded in the last 4 months of his life.
Wow!
So he just turned the motor up.
And he performed right to the end, right?
That's right. The last gig at Caroline's, right?
I heard
he didn't finish, but yes,
yeah.
he was.
I heard the gig at Caroline's was deeply depressing, and like Dave said, he didn't finish.
He
the
didn't
set.
finish what, the set or the week?
But everybody I know, who
I
was
believe the set.
Yeah,
he had to
Everybody
leave
I know-
early.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave.
I'm sorry. Everybody I know who was like, I was going to go see him, but I figured I'd see him the next night, and then he canceled, and it was like, damn, it was like the last time like Elvis. Like,
what was the first? How much time did he do on the last set? Do you know?
He did about 20 minutes, and then he was on a lot of morphine and painkillers at that time. So
he didn't sell any merch. Sorry, Jim. Jim, this was before merch. Handshakes, and just backslapping.
Did he tell the audience like I just can't go?
He just, as I understand it, said I can't go on and walked off stage. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Anyone have tape of that? I'm sure you guys try to
Yeah,
find
no,
it.
there's definitely going to be some tape on that.
There's none.
Well, that's great that you guys.
But the last show that he was recorded doing in its entirety was at a place called Igby's, which is in LA.
Right.
And that was an amazing gig where he essentially kind of summed up not only what he was doing with his career, he announced it when he came on stage. Guys, this is going to be my last gig. You're here at my last ever gig. Maynard from Tool was in the audience, and there's gasps. People are going, no, what do you mean, really? And he just goes on to dissect not only what he's been through over the last 16 years as a comedian, attempting to try and get real, soul and spirit and voice out in America, but also, what the American public have chosen, which is Gallagher and Carrot Top.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, went off on this idea that audiences really, his big mission was to try and get people to think for themselves. And he felt that a lot of comedians were attempting to stop audiences thinking by distracting them. And essentially what he was doing was attempting to try and get that thinking muscle working.
Did he really name Carrot Top? Poor Carrot Top. He's such a nice guy. It's his last gig and he attacks you.
We've had him on too. He's all right.
Yeah, he's a
he
good
makes
dude.
fun of himself at this point. So,
But that's
but he's banking.
He looks like a nice person.
Hey, when did he die after that gig? You just explained.
That was November of '93, and he died
3 months
February
later.
of '94. Yeah.
3 months later. Jeez.
Rule number 2, or his principle number 2. The act is something you fall back on if you can't think of anything else to say. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I fall back on it a lot.
Well, I hope this movie does well for you guys, man. It was put together very, very, very nicely. I liked it.
I think we're just immensely appreciative that we've had so many people here in the States come out and say that they really do feel that Bill is somebody who should be remembered and that his work is still relevant. That timeless aspect to what he did means that he's still gaining fans now.
Let's get the plugs out there. So the movie American, the Bill Hicks Story. Release date April 8th in New York, April 15th in LA, and then hopefully you move on from there, right? Start spreading out.
It's going wide to like another 15 cities, and we're also 5 cities in Canada, and we're also available to get online, so you can go and check us out at the website AmericanTheMovie.com.
How cool is that? That's great. Thanks for doing that. As a comic who will never ever be in that league, I appreciate you guys doing this. So
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, guys.
Opie, thanks, man.
We're going to continue with Dave Attell, and
how can I follow that?
Well, we got Bill Burr on the phone too.
Okay. What?
We're going to talk about the anti-social tour.
Yes.
These guys are.
We should use
way
these
bigger
guys
than
as
they're
like
telling you.
they can. You're like comedy experts, so you can kind of you're like archaeologists or something. Like like comedy from the beginning and all that kind of stuff.
We know about Bill, and we know about that kind of time period. Yeah.
Right. So when did you stop caring about comedy? Like 98? Did you hear about the Blue Collar tour? It really kind of ripped it up for a while. What do you think about those tours? That kind of. Is there something like in English? Is there something like in
In London, I mean, it's kind of a different scene, isn't it?
Yeah, no, there's nothing like that at all in the UK. I mean, and comedy's still just as strong there as it ever was.
We have like Lee Evans and fucking Billy Connolly and one other guy will do the Wembley.
Rich Hall is big.
But we lose a lot of our good guys to you. I mean, obviously, people like Eddie Izzard and Russell Brand and Ricky Gervais were probably the three most successful stand-ups of the last sort of 5-10 years, and have all come over here, as you can see, making movies big time.
Now, I know Eddie did a comedy for a while, or did he do a lot of comedy? But Ricky and Russell, did they really do like stand-up like the way we do it here? I mean, like, did they tour Sussex and, of course, Yorkshire and the debated Isle of Wight?
Leicestershire. And Leicestershire. Yeah.
Leicestershire.
Yeah. Russell Brand did.
Russell, did you? Eddie used to run his own comedy
No, I
club.
was just curious
Yeah.
because I never knew like what the road was like over there. Like what do you guys do?
Well, I think Eddie Izzard started out doing the Covent Garden, like kind of street performing stuff, and before he went on to do TV. But
Well, here we have the Olive Garden.
What
do you think? Sorry, guys.
We don't understand that reference. But the thing that I think that Ricky Gervais upset a lot of people about was that he came on having not done any stand up at all, and immediately was selling out and huge, and was widely thought to be great. And I think he upset a lot of comics.
He's a good comic as far as his stand-up is.
I like his stand-up.
His performance is very natural. He's himself, but the material, is very. It's something you would like. The concept is something you would do very early, like the nursery rhymes, like breaking down what was the fucking egg-headed one? The guy on the wall,
Humpty
Dumpty.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It was. Like that. I think his performance to me was what was very impressive as opposed to the material.
He's very charming.
But Ricky came from the radio, so Ricky had done hundreds of hours on the radio.
Yeah.
That's where he.
And so does
Jim.
Yeah.
What about Jim Norton?
And he
also known as Jim Norton.
Yeah, Jim Norton. David Brent is the best character ever on a television show. Is David Brent?
Who is he?
It's Gervais in the original Office.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You've never seen the original Office?
No.
Dude, it really.
I don't really watch the other one either.
I don't
worry about the American
new one
Office.
annoys me.
Although I must admit, when the American one came over, we were kind of like ready to hate it, and it's actually pretty good. I mean, you guys over here are able to do something which we don't seem to be able to do in the UK, which is to get a series that runs for 8-10 series.
I liked it for the first 2 or 3, and then I tapped out a long time ago.
Does it throw you off when you see our TV? I'm sorry to interrupt, but and you see all those commercials that we have in the middle of it? Does that throw you guys off when you watch American television?
No, we love commercials, man. We buy stuff.
Okay.
All right. We're going to take a break. Guys, thank you so much
Back shortly
for stopping by. The Bill Hicks Story.
Thank you.